goodness. It's over here. Hey, what's up? Well, okay. I guess I'll change. How's my stream rate? Am I... Whoops, wrong one. Looking good, looking good. Okay. Ah! I'm gonna assume the stream has actually started by now. For those of you who aren't actually aware of why I keep saying things like that, when I hit go compared to when it actually starts streaming, there is a bit of a delay. And ironically, it's the same the other way, except not really. Like, the moment I hit, stop streaming, it'll stop streaming in that moment wherever the stream is at, not wherever I'm at. So I have to, if I want to capture all of what I'm saying, what I have to do is I have to be like, alright, I am no longer talking, and then just sit here for, it's about 10 seconds, give or take, it varies. And then, at that point, hit stop streaming. And even then, sometimes I'm off. Like Pax pointed out the other day, I had a thing where I was like, alright, I'll be good. And then I like cut myself off because I'd only waited 10 seconds, and that wasn't enough, apparently. Hey, Pokey, what's up? Don't mind him. He's just mad that his real name is Porky. So I kind of wanted something going on in the background while I talked a bit for here. I still don't really feel up to getting the webcam set up and whatnot. There's a bit of a story behind the webcam and what's going on with that, and of course I myself look like just gutter trash right now, because, you know, I've been sick for months. I guess only like a month at this point, but, you know, whatever. Point being, I wanted something to go on in the background here other than just a nice picture while I talked, because there's something I wanted to talk about. It's come up a few times lately here. More than you'd think, and it's basically the concept that gamers such as myself are either are lumped into two general categories, both of which, are, in my opinion, are inaccurate, incorrect. I can't remember if you can get it here or not. I think I can. Yep. Let's go ahead and get that on. There we go. I actually know the speedrun strats for this game pretty well, too, all things considered. Of course, I know a lot of speedrun strats, but, you know, shrug. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. The idea that we're either nostalgia people who only really play older games because of the nostalgia factor, and, oh, you know, the rose-tinted goggles, and how much better things were once upon a time. Oh, yes, everything was perfect, and all that garbage, right? The other category is the idea that we are so... what's a good word without using cuss words? Whoops, whoops. Yes. That's great. Can I change out of my PJs yet? Okay, awesome. PJ change. The point is, okay, the other category, to say it as nicely as I'm capable... Yes, stuck up, thank you, Pax, that's actually a good one. That are just so stuck up, so pretentious. You know, what most people think when they use the term indie crowd, and all the negative connotations that has. Is that actually showing up on my thing? Hang on. Does this show up if he messages me? I think he does. Yeah, it does. I gotta figure out... You know what? Hang on. I'm actually gonna mess with something here, because I gotta figure this out for the future anyways. Shrinkage. Shrinkage. Okay. Give me just a second here. But, maintain aspect ratio. There we go. Alright. Now we just gotta edit this over here. And we actually gotta remove that for a moment so we can do this properly. Entire window. Inner window. Sorry about the delays. I do actually want to talk about this. I just, want to get this set up properly first, because I'm going to need to do this eventually anyways. Okay, something's wrong with that. Ah, that's what. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's so much better. Perfecto. And now it's not covering my entire screen, so I don't suddenly have people popping up being like, "Rrr." But yeah, okay, so people tend to think that we're just stuck-up people, that we're just, you know, we love the smell of our own farts, I believe, is the crude way of putting that without actually using cuss words. And in my experience, while there are, of course, people like that, neither of those are generically true, alright? the simple fact of the matter is, when you look at things percentile-wise, and you look at great games, you know, the games that you if I was to go to a gamer, any video gamer, and say, look, name just incredible, awesome games. Statistically speaking, there is a greater chance that they're going to name older games, if for nothing else, because there is a greater, for God's sakes, right outside the door, a greater variety of them. There are simply more amazing games for the old days. Now let's actually look at why, or a couple reasons why for that. Okay. First and most importantly, and this is one that I really think needs to be reemphasized. While money has always been the goal of the entertainment industry, let's make that clear. You know, I've heard some people use the argument. Let's try and despawn him. Yeah, whatever. I've heard some people use the argument that back in the day people made games to make great games. The problem is there are still people out there who make games to make great games. The problem is, even back in the day, people were still trying to make money. The catch is that it was less of a deal back then, or not less of a deal as in you know, less of a priority. Ha! Got him. But more like, okay, let me just lay this out flat here. Back in the day, the amount of time and budget required in order to bring in a profit was less, even relatively speaking, relative to the economy at the time. Games were simply cheaper and easier to make. There really is no getting around that fact. Nowadays, if you want a proper modern game, in fact, you know what, let's just pull something out here really quick here. Where is it? Earthbound. Now, for those of you out there who don't know this game, this is Earthbound. This is an amazing game. If you haven't played it, I recommend it. This game is 3,146,240 bytes. 3 megs. Please think about that for a moment. Please genuinely think about what that really means. This game is 3 megabytes, okay? Try and think about any of the more modern games that reach into the gigabytes and tens of gigabytes in some cases. Try and think about how much extra effort it takes. Let's just even ignore graphics side of things. The extra effort required in order to make the engines, the extra effort required in order to make engines, by the way, plural, the extra effort required in order to make these games function on different systems which use different patterns. I'm not going to go into the actual hardware side of things, but suffice it to say, it simply was easier, quicker, and my X button is just spontaneously not working again. I was doing that the other day, too. It's quicker and easier in order to make them. Now, that is almost unfair when you think about it, because that means you're basically automatically at a disadvantage when it comes to making a modern game. Not only because it is harder and more expensive. No, wrong one. X. What the heck? Whatever. But, because there's more of a demand for it now, too. There is more of a demand on our side for quality games, and there's more demand from the industry side in order to make quality games. Oops. There we go. What the heck am I doing? I don't even remember. Oh, yes I do. Sorry, give me just a second here. I probably shouldn't have actually been playing a game that requires me to think at all while I was doing this. I just wanted something casual in the background. If you are making let's just take this completely fictional game. We'll call it Awesome Game 742, right? Now, let's say you've got a team of people who are very dedicated, who are very interested, who very much want to make this game an excellent game. Alright, no problem. You want to make this a quote-unquote indie game? I'll talk about that more in a bit. Or do you want to make it a mainstream game? If you want to make it a mainstream game, then you basically have to get to some kind of publishing matter or another. Now, nowadays, Kickstarter is still kind of getting going on that. I think my controller's broken. That really sucks. So it is more possible to bypass the publisher than it used to be, but in general, you still are, as of this moment in time and over the last several years, chained to the publisher. You have to go to someone and say, look, I need money, and I need the capacity to market it, and I need the capacity to publish it. They say, no problem, here's your budget, here's your time. Make the game by that time or you're fired. Now, let me make it clear here that, again, this is no real different than it used to be. The only real difference is, relatively speaking, it is much harder to pull that off nowadays than it used to be. So I have a great deal of sympathy for developers in the modern age, and I really resent the idea that modern developers just don't care, because it's been proven, number one, on many occasions that they actually do, and number two, the simple fact is it is so much harder for them to do their job than it used to be. Now, all of this is kind of a preamble for the basic fact of what I'm talking about. If you were to ask me, Arshangaya, do you think older games are better than newer games? Completely generic. Let's not look at the specifics like you always do. Let's not go into details. Let's not go into anything. Just right now, yes, no. Older games better than newer games. My answer would be yes, because there are more older games that are absolutely amazing, like the game I'm playing right now. If you ask me which game is better, Skyrim or Chrono Trigger, I'm going to tell you Chrono Trigger is better, and I'm going to mean it. But that brings me to my next point, the nostalgia factor, okay? Nostalgia, in the way I define it, and I do have to stress that, but I've heard, this is kind of a generic definition that most people tend to use. Nostalgia is when you look back at something that may or may not have been better, and you say, oh, that was just the best. That was the greatest thing ever. That was the most amazing thing, and nothing can ever surpass it. And you're not actually looking at it as it is, if you understand what I'm saying. You're not seeing the game or book or movie or person as they are. You're seeing what you remember, and you're only remembering the positive sides of it, okay? That's nostalgia. Now, I strongly resent the idea that I only play some of these games, like the one I'm playing right now, for nostalgia's factor. I actually understand what nostalgia feels like. I can name games that I have nostalgia for. The original Ultimas come to mind. EverQuest, for God's sakes. The original Fallouts. All of these games come to mind when I think of older games that I have nostalgia for and were awesome at the time. But as I have said many times, the true mark of an amazing game is that it continues to be good. This game I'm playing right now, I still enjoy. Right now, 2013. I still enjoy Earthbound just as much. Well, maybe not just as much, but certainly a great deal compared to, Fallout. If I pulled out Fallout, I hate to call that out because Fallout was an amazing game, but you get the point. Insert old game that I have nostalgia for, I will not enjoy that if I replay that. And I think several other people are in the same kind of boat as I am when it comes to that kind of thing. Wait, right, I'm not having it yet. Because they go back and they're like, oh, I want to play this game because I remember that game was awesome, it was amazing. You play it and it's just not. And you keep playing it, like you keep trying to be like, no, this game was awesome, I remember it was great. And it just keeps failing to live up to it. You know what I mean? You understand where I'm coming from this? That's nostalgia right there. But when you go back and you replay an older game and you're like, yeah, this is just as amazing. Oh, this is incredible. And you're actually still enjoying it when you're being honest with yourself and not trying to be pretentious, which is where that sort of stuck-up accusation comes from. Then you're actually, when you're not being honest with it, then you have a truly amazing game, one that has, to put it frankly, withstood the test of time. If I might be so bold, one of the reasons I am in favor, this is kind of off topic, one of the reasons I'm in favor of emulation, like I'm doing right now, is I own these games. I could prove that. If I had the webcam hooked up, I could grab the cartridge, it's right over there, I could see the box it's in, and pull it out and be like, here, I own this game, this is legitimate for me. That's not the problem. As my friend Pax can attest to, cartridges age, and they will eventually go bad. The battery will run out, I believe was actually the case with him, in the case of Earthbound, specifically, if I'm not mistaken. And that just happens. SNES games, NES games, all of the cartridges are not eternal. Having a digital copy of these games is a form of history being preserved and being able to actually still play these games in the modern era. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I got an example of my own. My Final Fantasy IV cartridge is unplayable at this point in time. It not only will it only sometimes save, but it is virtually impossible to get it to actually load at all. My Mega Man X cartridge is the exact same way. If not for emulation, if not for this type of thing, I would lose the ability to play those games properly. You understand? Oh, that's right, I want to see this. I saw this recently in the speedrun, and I'd never actually done this before. I didn't even know you could do this. You're hungry already? Why don't you have some steak? Pokey, you don't like steak, do you? Too bad! I love this game. Alright, moving on. So it's not a matter of nostalgia, and it's not a matter of, older games were just better. Neither of these things are true. Statistically speaking, I'm gonna do something real quick here. Give me just a moment. Let's pull this up. Occurred to me, I could probably pause. I haven't been in chat this whole time, and that literally just occurred to me. Do I even have anyone on right now? Yes, I do. I have a couple people on. Is anybody in the chat? Looks like nobody's in the chat. Okay. My bad, guys, for anybody who wanted to be in the chat. Oh, I'm wrong. There are actually quite a few people in chat. Yeah, Pax points out an excellent point. Even on CDs for PC games and that, you know, disc media will fail. You'll have demagnetization, you'll have warping, you'll have scratches. Physical copies of video games will eventually fail. We have the exact same problem with modern cartridges, actually. For all intents and purposes, you have, I mean, granted, that's not a problem yet. Hi, Tugboat, and hi, Scottish, and hi, Snowy, and hi, Third. But, you will have those problems eventually. It is literally inescapable. There is no getting around it. Where's the pop-out option? There we go, pop-out. That's what I wanted. And then we'll move this over here. Give me just a moment, because I'm going to do my little trick thing here. Because I already set that up last night. Twitch chat, which I need to move. Let's do this, I guess. Hang on just a second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that one. And the entire window. And then turn it on. There we go. And now we can actually move the chat over here. One of these days I'm going to set up scenes for like all these things, so I don't have to set this up manually every single time I switch games or what I'm doing. There we go. And then we'll just leave that up there so I can actually read what people are saying. Perfect. Okay. So I really wanted to stress this because one of the other things to really keep in mind with regards to older games is nice, Third. Alright, I stuck to him. Actually, what was the last... I can actually name you, other than console games, because obviously I own consoles up to very recent. Not counting console games, the last PC game I got that actually was a physical CD was Oblivion. That should give you some idea of the timing of how long it's been. I've been a fan of digital distribution for some time, and for good reason. There's also a reason I tend to back up my stuff like that. I have an external drive whose only real purpose is backup, but anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. What I'm really trying to get across here is that obviously I'm generalizing. I admit freely that I am generalizing. Hey, Every. I admit freely that I am talking with regards to the majority, but the problem is most people who are doing the opposite, the people who are accusing us and gamers like myself and friends of mine, are not just generalizing, they are criticizing to a ludicrous degree. They're oversimplifying a situation that is actually quite complex. No, I don't want to hear your story again, Buzz Buzz. Go away. Just die. Like, okay, let me give you a really simple example. And I've said this before. One of the reasons I wanted to use Earthbound for this, admittedly this was Pax's idea. Full credit to Pax. But as soon as he said it, I realized I could actually use this as an example. Okay, Earthbound was on the SNES. The SNES, the way the SNES worked with regards to its processor and the way it pushed out sprite deformations and rendering, I could actually talk to you a great deal about it. I don't want to bore you completely, but I want to illustrate something. Because, okay, I'm sorry, let me actually back up a step. Nowadays, especially with PC games, but with console games as well, your limitations basically aren't. You understand what I mean? Now that is, in my opinion, as weird as this is going to sound, in general, a bad thing. When you have the ability to do basically whatever with your game, you tend to think it's the sandbox problem. Anybody who's in my online game knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. Anybody who's been on my online D&D, anybody who's had me as a GM in general knows what this is talking about. Yeah, exactly. It negates when you have the ability to do anything. When you have an infinite box of Legos. That's what I like to relate this to. I was big in Legos back in the day. Still am, kind of. When you have an infinite box of Legos and you can make anything, you just sit there and you're like, okay, and you tend to follow the default. You understand what I mean? You tend to go for the things that you know or the things that you're being told to do. There is a reason we keep seeing things like Call of Duty style games. And by the way, I am not bashing Call of Duty. Let's make that clear. I don't want to get into that. But There is a reason that style of game is so popular. There's a reason that so many RPGs are so similar. There's a reason so many MMOs that came out followed the WoW model. Because as the technology improved, people were like, "What the heck do we make?" And they're like, "Oh." And while there are of course exceptions for people who actually made things that were incredible and amazing, the natural human tendency is to go for the default. Now here's the example I wanted to give you. Okay, here I am in this game. The SNES is actually quite simple. It's a triple layer system, okay? You got your first layer right here. That's NES wandering around right here. In fact, it's actually 5 layers. You see that right there? I can actually show you physically. There's layer 5. Now layer 4, you're actually not going to see here, not until we get bad on. There's layer 3, layer 2, which you're not going to see, and layer 1. You'll see how much is on layer 1. Virtually the entirety of the game is sitting on layer 1 and layer 5. If we get rid of both of those, that's all we have left, right there, okay? Triple layer system, like I said. Now, where am I going with this? Well, they said, we want to do something cool, like have the sunrise. Now, the SNES had the availability of altering the palette on the fly, just like it just did. You see that right there? None of the sprites changed, none of the layers changed, none of those graphics moved at all. All they did was altered the palette for the existing sprite generation. That's all they did. And yet, that kind of thing, if you try to do it in a modern game, you would have to actually generate, you would have to, okay, we have to do lighting effects. We have to actually show proper bit mapping. We have to show the mesh changing on the sun as it moves up into the sky. We have to generate shadows in different areas. The complexity and difficulty in making a sunrise happen in a video game, it's something so simple in a modern video game, is insane compared to what they did back then. So two-part point I'm trying to make here. One is the difficulty, which is obvious, but 2 is the fact that when you are so limited in what you could do, because they couldn't do shadows, because they couldn't do lighting effects, because they didn't have three-dimensional rendering, they had to look at what they did have, look at their limitations, and work with them. Excuse me. And yeah, Scottish, you're absolutely right. People are creatures of habit. I am too. I'm not... I'm throwing houses from... Or I'm throwing houses. I'm throwing houses around. I'm pretty strong, apparently. I'm throwing stones from the glass house. You know what I mean? I am fully as guilty of this as anybody is. But the problem is human beings in general are creatures of habit. We tend to go with what we like and what we know. It takes effort to actually reach out and say, okay, I'm going to try something. And talk to this dog and say, I am Rufini the dog. I'm being possessed by the game designer. Rough. And part of... I don't want to get into the other topic that I'm being reminded of right now. But the general point I'm trying to get across here is between having too many options, budget being a massive concern, time being a massive concern. Let me make this absolutely clear. One of the reasons I feel so strongly and so sympathetically for game developers is game development is a black hole of time and money. It is the sink from hell. Okay, let's make that absolutely clear. And there's ways to get around that nowadays, finally. We have only recently reached the part where that is common. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the general idea here is, because of all these factors, it is logical that games from the older era were quote-unquote better. Now, to completely contrast what I just said, there are exceptions in the modern age. I'm one of those people who actually says that we're looking at an upswing, an upturn, a positive era of video games about to begin. And one of the reasons is because, I've been hinting about this whole time, the thought that you don't have to do it the AAA method, as I like to call it. I'm not sure if there's actually a proper term for that or not. Whoa, that's like 4 sharks. We're going to reset that spawn rate. Okay, is that better? No, that's 3. Yeah, what level am I? Ah, shoot. I'm sorry, I need to rebind something. My X button is actually broken on my controller. I'm actually really sad about this. First of all, let's put this up here. There we go. Yeah, it's just the X button. That's sad. First of all, it's getting easier to not do it the AAA method. Whether you're... okay, indie. I said indie in a negative light already once during this little video thing here. Part of that is because indie is usually used in a negative light. The catch is indie has become, by virtue of usage, a different term when it comes to video gaming specifically. I don't know enough about other mediums to really speak to them, but I do know that with regards to video games, when you say indie game nowadays, it doesn't mean pretentious, I'm trying to be artsy and for the sake of being artsy, stuck-up game. That's not what it means anymore. It's not what it's meant for some time. I wish they would stop doing that. There we go. It just means a game that was made at a very low budget. With it's basically, at this point, actually, the term indie game basically means anything that is not a AAA game. Those two categories have basically defined the entirety of the procedure at this point. So, whoa, I didn't even see that guy. Indie games, at this point in time, are becoming easier and easier to make, and are becoming more and more prolific. I give a lot of credit, to be a little bit frank, to Steam for this. Steam has really been pushing their indie market. Their whole greenlight procedure has been a fantastic success, and I'm actually a huge advocate and supporter of the greenlight system. And I do try to actually pop on there and peruse the games and do my greenlighting thing every now and again. I probably will not actually buy those games, but I want to at least be supportive, if that makes any sense. And occasionally I do buy those games. I mean, Evil Land, for goodness sakes. Although actually that was my friend of mine that bought it, but I probably would have bought that anyways if he brought it to my attention. Well, I'm with you, Scottish, but the definition, if you've been following me here, is not that this is not a matter of quality. The definition is a game cheap to make, or is a game expensive to make? Ultimately, that's where I'm going. That's my definition for the difference between indie and AAA. Really, you could just call it cheap or expensive, and that's the only thing. There are, of course, some other things, which I'll get into in just a second here. But my point is that to publish, if you out there, anybody watching this, whether it's on my stream right now or whenever I upload this to YouTube, if you had the talent and time and interest, motivation, enthusiasm to go out there and say, I want to make video game blah, there has never been a period in time in history where it is easier and more likely for you to succeed at doing that than right now. I don't know if that's going to continue that way, but right now is literally the golden age of that type of game development, and that's awesome, I think. Next point. Publishers in general are getting more obsolete. Lots of the publishers are aware of this. This is one of the reasons they've been doing so poorly lately in general. But just to name two big examples of why publishers are getting less important lately. Number one, digital distribution. A lot of people don't really think about how much time, money, and effort is involved in marketing, in actually physically producing a disc, in getting the box, in shipping it, in moving physical matter, to put it as simply as I can. Hang on just a second. Nope, wrong thing. Okay, hang on. I just realized why it's doing that. How much time and effort and money and everything was involved in that. And that's why right there. Let's just disable that. There we go. So once that massive cost has been shoved out the door and is no longer a major concern, the extent to which you can do better and do more. You understand kind of where I'm going with this here. But more importantly, and that's just the digital distribution side of things. Whoops, wrong button. Use it. There we go. $100, that's it? I just made $100, guys. Woot! Man, I wish real life was like this. You have any idea? Alright, I'm gonna go beat up some dogs for a bit. Whoops, wrong thing. Wrong guy. And let's buy... Oh, should I get a weapon? Yeah, I should get a weapon. Yes, take my cracked weapon. Second thing, in addition to digital distribution, is it is getting more and more common for alternative methods of funding, is what I like to call it. Now, the most commonly known and obvious example here is, of course, Kickstarter. Kickstarter itself has some problems, and they've been ironing them out. That's awesome. Whoops, wrong button again. I really do need to replace the controller. That actually kind of makes me sad, but whatever. it's simply becoming easier for people to actually use the old axiom, vote with your wallet, right? It's becoming simpler and easier for people to actually be able to fund things on an individual level, on a personal level, and it's growing in popularity, and I think that's a good thing. What we need is a quote-unquote AAA game to actually come out basically purely on Kickstarter, and I think several of you out there will already know what I'm about to say, but Obsidian, with their, are you gonna fight me? Ah! I guess you are. With their whole Kickstarter project, which was a wild success, as far as the Kickstarter, as far as the funding side of things go, if that game comes out and it's awesome, what we have is an awesome precedence set. What we have there is the fact that other developers, other large developers, are going to look at that and say, swoot. Now, Pax brings up a very excellent point. The question is going to become, what is the game going to look like? What's it going to be aesthetically? How decent is it going to be from a... I think I've already used the best word I could, an aesthetic perspective. If that game looks old and horrible, it's going to have to work much harder in actually being high quality in order to make up for that. However, if it does pull that off, you see where I'm going with this. And that's what we're looking at is the very beginning of that trend, which is either going to... Shut up, Pax. Which is either going to succeed or fail, pretty much right here. And it will have to loop around a few years into the future in order to actually see if it will have a chance to succeed again in the future. I'm kind of hopeful that it will, but the coin's in the air, as I like to say, so who knows. Yeah, and as Scottish points out there on the chat, I'm just naming one example. There are several games using the independent funding method, including Kickstarter itself. Which could succeed at starting this new trend, at beginning a new style of bypassing the publisher. And frankly, I'm all in favor of that, bypassing the publisher. I have believed for many years that the publisher-developer relationship has been a horrible thing, and frankly, I'll tell you exactly why. It has nothing to do with video games. Go out there, if any of you know any actual writers, authors, go out there and talk to them and ask them what they think of their publisher. And if you can get an honest answer out of them, really my case is made, you know what I mean? This is nothing new. Video games are just the latest... Shut up, Pax. Video games are just the latest... Oh, whoops, damn it, no, I don't want to become a member. Video games are just the latest victim of the publisher-developer relationship. This has been true for years upon years upon years. The people with the money tend to exploit the people with the talent. That's just life. I hate to put it so bluntly. And so I am naturally in favor of the removal of as much of that from the situation as possible. The final point I wanted to make, and I did want to make this very last, is the simple fact that human beings will only put up with so much. Whoops. I think I'm going to go ahead and heal with a cookie. And yeah, let's do one more. There we go. Human beings will only put up with so much. Now, of course, I've heard people say this somewhat dismissively because anybody who looks at... Oh my god, that hurt. Do I, have no gear on or something? Goodness. Good load. And I'm dead. Wow. I do not know what I did wrong there. Anyways, whatever. Stretched neck. Human beings will only put up with so much for so long. To put it bluntly, this is not new to video games. Okay, the point I was trying to make here, I'm just going to put that on the controller for a second. The point I was trying to make is that a lot of people will say, well, people say they hate this, but they still buy stuff. People say that they do this, but these companies are still in business. The problem here is that most people don't realize that human beings having tolerance limits is not new. It is not unique to entertainment. It is not unique to the modern era. Human beings have tolerance limits, and that's been true for all of human history. And the general consensus is that people will start complaining and complaining and complaining, but once it actually hits the critical point and people just stop putting up with it, changes happen. in all honesty, granted I'm something of a history buff. I tend to be rather interested in history in general, but this is just something that is consistent across centuries at this point. Ah, damn it! Dun, dun. Alright, everyone, say it with me. Fuzzy pickles! When the PAX, when they were doing that on the marathon run for Earthbound, every time they actually hit a Fuzzy Pickles thing, everyone in the room there actually said Fuzzy Pickles with the little peace sign. It was amusing. Anyways, my point is that people are going to stop putting up with this kind of thing. And frankly, it is my opinion that people have already stopped putting up with this to some extent. We've already seen plenty of people who are, as I say, voting with their wallets. We've already seen plenty of people who are simply not going to put up with the policies and practices that have gotten us to this point in time. Money is all fine and good, but ultimately, the human aspect of things is what's going to actually change things, in my opinion. And one of the reasons why I believe... Oh my god, 3? I might actually die again. One of the reasons I believe that we're actually going to be seeing an upsurge in quality with regards to video games soon. That is, of course, just my opinion. Shut up, Max. And Everett points out something as well that I alluded to earlier. The entire design... Ah, I did die! Of games back in the SNES and NES era was completely different. And of course we have to look at things culturally as well. That's another thing to be kept in mind here. Whoops. Why is it still doing that? I thought I turned that off. Hang on just a second. Why is this? Okay. Disable, disable, disable. Okay. And now it's not working at all. What the heck? Hang on. Something's wrong here. Why is my X button not working? I was having this exact same problem. Okay, let's just do like this. X. And it's not working even with the keyboard? That is very strange. Oh, I know why that is. Oh, whatever. I'll fix that later. For now, alright, here's the ultimate Earthbound challenge. Don't use the menu ever. I'm just playing casually anyways. Where the heck was I? I honestly don't remember. I got really distracted by dying and then my butt stopped working. I'm not sure why. So... Right, I'm sorry. Culturally speaking, you have to remember that a lot of people tend to not think about the fact that right before the NES, video games died. You know, the great video game crash of the Atari. Thank you so much, Atari. That really was a complete and utter abandonment of video gaming as a concept. And I say that because, as most of you are aware, video games were around before the NES. NES came around and completely revolutionized everything. Brought video games back to the public eye, made them acceptable again, made them popular again, made them a business again. At every level of the perspective, video games became a thing again. The Super Nintendo was riding high the wave, as you like to call it. You know, that was when it's like, okay, video games are awesome, let's improve the quality, let's make it so we can do more. But ultimately, ironically enough, when you look at the capacities of the SNES and the NES, they're not actually all that dissimilar. The SNES is, of course, superior, but it's not like the differences you see or saw for some of the generational gaps. You know, the PS1 to the PS2 is a good example there of drastic differences in hardware quality and capacity. But the NES to the SNES was just one step up. We can do more stuff now. We've got 2 additional layers. We've got this Mode 7 thing. You know, we've got a couple of things we can do. Our audio engine is a lot better. Let's go out and make some awesome games. And so everyone said, yeah, and made awesome games. And then video games started bouncing around for a bit. We had the N64, which frankly didn't do well, as much as I am supportive of the N64 in my own right. Get the PS1, discs started becoming popular, and video game consoles started moving more and more towards PCs, basically, to put it simply. I'm about to die again, oh my goodness. I guess I'll eat a hamburger. Nom, nom, nom. And I see comments over here I'm gonna go look at. Sorry guys, I haven't actually been looking at the chat. Urgh. No, I know people like that too, Every. Unfortunately, I know people who will look at the engine or engines of a game and say, nope, not gonna deal with it, not gonna bother with it. I know some people who will buy any game that is built off of a certain engine because, oh my god, it's the hibbly blably blue engine. It has to be good. Damn, garbage. The Crytek engine is probably a good example of that as well. And I think McLollypop there brings up another excellent point that I personally feel very strongly on. It is my opinion, and I stress the word opinion, that in the modern age, the percentage number of people and developers who consider writing to be an integral part of a video game has shrunk. Now, that does sound pretentious, but let me also defend, or I guess I should say, destroy my own argument at the same time by pointing out that not every old game had an amazing story. I am playing one that had an amazing story right now. That's that's beside the point. Not every old game was incredible in terms of story. However, it is my opinion, based on the perspective, based on how I've been seeing modern games, that most modern games don't bother as much with treating story as an absolute amazing part of a video game. There are, of course, exceptions, but I think that's one of the detriments to the modern era, is because people... See, I don't want to say what I'm thinking here, because I have no way of saying it without actually covering the 16 layers to the statement that I really mean. In summary, it is my opinion that, percentage-wise speaking, people tend to prefer superior gameplay to superior stories nowadays. Now let me also add that there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I mean, really, there isn't. If you have a game that's fun to play, then hey, there you go. My problem is the fact that most developers tend to think of it as a choice. And I'm sure you've noticed this. And when I say modern games, I'm talking like the last several years. I'm not talking 2013. I'm talking, going back 5, 6, 7 years. You look at games which say, okay, we've got to make this really fun to play. We've got to put all our effort into making this awesome and incredible and tons of fun. Let's just stick a story on there and get some B-list voice actors, and we're good, go! That kind of a thing. And I know that sounds dismissive, so let me again reiterate that I am generalizing and admitting it. There are, of course, exceptions. And now that I've done ranting that, let's read the next comment. What do we got over? Yeah, third, basically just kind of agreed with me, I guess. Whoops, I don't have money. I need to go to the ATM. Which is right here. God, you can tell I haven't played Earthbound lately, yeah? There we go. What I consider popcorn games, personally, is... 1, games that don't actually draw me in at all. Actually, you know what? I got a great example right here, okay? Saints Row 3 was a lot of fun to play. It was. It really was. I had a ton of fun playing that with Pax and going through and doing the co-op, and it was awesome. Road to Tucson, still closed. However, Saints Row 3's plot was... there as an excuse, basically. It was there as an excuse to get to the gameplay. It was a popcorn game. It was a game I had fun playing, and then I put it down. Saints Row 2, to use a direct example, unfortunately is an older game, but whatever, just follow with me, had a story I actually found compelling and interesting. Really actually caught me at several points, and was emotional, deep, interesting. It wasn't like, the pathos of Shakespeare in video game format, but it was still good. You follow me? Didn't catch him. Oh well. And Scottish points out another excellent Another excellent example there, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. Both of these games are extremely well written and have amazing gameplay. Both of those games treated both elements, the gameplay and the story, as critical elements of the game, and they both are amazing games. I absolutely love both of them. I can't wait to do a big playthrough of them, you know what I mean? And I'm about to die again. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. I don't remember this being this hard. I really don't. Apparently I suck, and this is the part where Pax makes fun of me. Go ahead, do it. Get out of your system, man. I know I've kind of rambled all over the place here, and I do apologize. But when do I get life up? I thought I would have gotten... In fact, what level... Oh, right, I can't pull up the menu because my controller's being very strange. Where is this? This is what's causing it. Exit. Okay. Why isn't it letting me pull up X? That is so weird. I was having this exact same problem yesterday. Why is it asking me to... What? Did it just log me out? Hang on a second. Oh, for God's sake. So I just lost some of the chat because it asked me to log back in for some reason. So the people who just said something, I saw a big paragraph there that I was just about to read. I just lost it. Sorry. If you repeat it, if you want me to read it or respond to it, feel free. And why is this stuff? Oh, thank you, Pax. Okay. Well, see, even in the JRPGs, I would contest that we're having the same basic problem right here. I agree with you completely with Ni no Kuni, and level 5 in general has been doing good stuff lately. No, I got it. McLollipop. Pax pasted it for me. I should turn chat back on. There we go. But you know, you look at so many of the companies that used to punch out games of entertainment and quality and value. Capcom and Square Enix both come immediately to mind. Both of them have failed miserably for a long time, I might add. And it's very strange when you think about it. What in the heck is up with this? Why can't I use my frickin' X button? I have never had this problem before. And yet I can use Turbo X. Wait, no, I can't. Something is very strange here. Let's try that. Nope. Apparently I'm gonna have to do some figuring out of what the heck is wrong with this, because I can't... my X button isn't working, and I don't know why, and that is very strange. I've never had this issue before. Like, in general. Whatever. We'll just listen to awesome music. Dun, dun, dun. Damn it, Pax. I'm not leveling. Screw you. No, I guess I should. I decline to comment on that third. Yeah, I'm going to decline to comment. I'll let someone else throw in their opinion on that. What? Oh, shoot, right. I couldn't heal because I couldn't pull up the menu. This is actually really going to bug me. Whatever. You know what, let's test something here actually real quick. Let's... Stop that. Apologies for the delay. Just trying to figure out something here. have to turn the volume down a lot. We have to do the re-edit, move it over here. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting a little old school here, but I'm trying to figure out what in the world is going on with my everything. Let's see if my buttons work over here. Oh, that seems to be working fine. Wow, very strange. I was actually never very good at text-based adventures, I admit it. But, it's partially because I didn't think in the way they did, if that makes any sense. For example, Zork, I'll use that as the penultimate example. Zork does not actually make sense. You know, I would actually map out, okay, go left, right, right, left, up, left. And I would end up in a place that doesn't make sense, because that's not the way they use the logic of the situation. Oops. Not doing too good here. At least my keys are working. Not sure why they're not working over in the SNES. Oh well. Now the real problem here, I'm sorry, to get back on topic a little bit here, is when you really get down to it, whether or not you consider something quality or not is going to depend on opinion, right? There's really no avoiding that fact. And no matter what you do, somebody is going to be like, oh, you're just thinking that because you're a blah, 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 blah. You know, whatever excuse you feel like adding here, it doesn't matter. People are still going to accuse you of it. Oh, excuse me. So, for example, I'm playing Mega Man 2 right now. Someone could accuse me of being, you know, an elitist snob or an old school, you know, blah, 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 because I just prefer playing Mega Man 2 as opposed to a more modern game. And yet, at the same time, that's not quite true. I mean, if you asked me what's a superior game, Mega Man 2 or Skyrim, I think you know what I'm going to tell you. What's a superior game, Mega Man 2 or Assassin's Creed Revelations? What's a superior game, Mega Man 2 or StarCraft 2? Duh, you know? Ugh, and I guess that brings me to my final point. I was intending to make this a bit ago, and I got really distracted by my controller screwing up. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. My final point is a personal one completely. Several people have asked me why it is that I basically have only been streaming older games, with the exception of Skyrim itself. And that's going to keep being true for a while. The reason is actually really simple. I have a limited upload rate on my internet connection, and that's not going to change for the foreseeable future. There's a period of time in which that will change, but I don't know when that is. So, when that happens, I will be more inclined to stream more modern games. But right now, it bothers me to see the incredibly bad quality of streaming. I mean, I've looked at some of my Skyrim videos, and I'm just like, God, how is anybody watching that? I don't even understand. I mean, it's terrible quality. Even though I've pushed the FPS down, I've basically optimized my output as much as it is possible for me to do. And it's not enough. It is simply insufficient. Whoops. There we go. And that's that's the final reason right there. Final reason why it is I personally have been doing stuff like that. That just occurred to me. That's not a bad idea. And I could keep talking about old games versus new games for quite a while, in all honesty. Yeah, it's still not working. That is so strange. For example, I could bring up the point that people are less likely to engage in experiments with regards to games nowadays. The game I was just playing, Earthbound, I actually kind of picked that. Again, Pax picked that. Props to him, but I agreed with the point completely. Because this is a very experimental game. even though if you look at it from a production standpoint, it was effectively a high-class Dragon Quest. The fact of the matter is, the way they did so many things differently, and I'm not just talking about the story, with regards to combat and mechanics as well, that it was a risk. It was a big old risk, and people weren't exactly sure if it was going to work. Now, Earthbound 1, or rather Mother 1, I really should say that properly, did well, so they at least had an idea that it would work. But you get the point. Whenever you take, and I'm not blaming anyone for this, let me make that absolutely clear. I'm not saying you should all take risks because I am a moron. No, I have a brain. I understand risk versus reward. I understand the fact that you don't want to try something new. And I agree with your reasoning, even. But that is part of the problem. It is such a dangerous environment in this day and age in order to actually go out and try something new, especially with regards to video gaming. And there is, of course, another problem related to that. What is new at this point? Oh, hey, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. I am sorry, Grotgefil? That's the best I got. We're going to call you Grow, because I can pronounce Grow. What's going on, man? The problem is that what is new in gaming at this point in time? What hasn't been done? What hasn't been tried? At this point, really, there is no such thing. There's nothing new under the sun. That's an old saying, and that just makes my point all the more. You know what I mean? This is nothing new. We already have had all of these things for forever. Let's do something different here. Let's disable this. Disable this. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out my frickin' input problems. Alright, let's do this. Up, left, down, right. B, A, Y, X. Start, select, L, R. Escape. Whoops. Escape, 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 escape. Still not working. That is extremely screwed up. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I tried, man. I did my best. I did my best. I failed miserably, but I did my best. How many viewers I got right now? 16, wow. A little bit more than I usually do when I do these things at 3 in the morning, although I guess that's to be expected. Maybe it's because I have that on? I am going to solve this, I swear to God. It's... This is technically my morning. I just woke up a couple hours ago at this point. And... yeah, enough said, really, I guess. But I'm still on a night schedule, so it is still evening as far as, time goes. Where in the heck? Okay, you know what? Let's try something else. Let's do something completely different. Okay, minimize, close, close. Pull this up. Where's my... There it is. Final Fantasy VI. Go over here. Go here. Hit E. Input X is as it should be. Why do I have saved? Oh, of course I have saved your. Duh. I have a brain. It's still not working. Okay, this is starting to freak me out. Something is preventing my X key from working, and I don't know what. I'm in a completely different emulator. Still playing the same ROM. Let's play a different ROM. That's a good idea. Shoutouts to the East Coast. Shout out to the West Coast. Skip through the intro. Skip through the intro. Okay, that works here. I can use X there. Let's go back to Earthbound for a second. And Evray is apparently in the UK. Yo, from across the pond, as they say. At some point I need to do a video asking everyone basically what would be an optimal time for streaming for you to catch it. Oh, goodness. With relative to GMT, most likely. Because there's literally no possible way I'm going to be able to stream where all of my viewers can catch it. I'd simply have too many viewers in the States, too many viewers in Europe, and that's hard to reconcile, you know what I mean? And of course people have work schedules, people have other things, RL concerns, blah blah blah, but I would like to try and at least get an idea and say, you know, hey, what's an optimal time for you, what's an optimal time for you, actually write it down in a spreadsheet because I'm the organized kind of person. And let's just speed this up a bit. Or maybe not. How strange. Anyways. And try and figure out a good time, an optimal time, to catch as many people as possible. As I said last night, I do prefer it when people... Obviously, I tend to upload these all to YouTube. I intend to upload this one to YouTube as well. But I do prefer it when people are actually online, over there in the chat or whatever, and I can be like, yo, what's up? And actually be streaming to people live. That is a preference thing, of course. But, you know, what do you want? Another UKer. I think the Europeans outnumber the America. Oh, no, my bad. That evens it out. Oh, no, now we got a Swedish person. Land of IKEA and meatballs. A Canadian, hey, what's up, dude? I've only got one other Canadian that I'm aware of that follows my stuff. It's actually in my online group, for that matter. My D&D group. It just occurred to me I've been doing this whole thing without actually letting you see any of it. Whoa, that's very strange. Let's fix that. Okay, I think the Europeans are officially starting to outrank everyone, or outnumber everyone. Okay, I think I have a thought as to why this is screwing up. Just occurred to me. There it is, right there. How did that escape my attention? Alright, let's delete that. In fact, let's delete all of this, every single one of them. Get rid of everything here. There's apparently some cheat files too. Yeah, let's just nuke all of that. Hopefully that'll fix it. Type. There we go. Sorry, you know, I really did come on here to kind of chat about video games, old versus new, and that kind of thing, and then I ended up getting very distracted. Shrug, I guess. No, I need to save that one and that one. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. The rest of those can be gone. Whoops. Stereo. Is this going? Yeah, hang on, we need to redo this again. Probably the only thing I don't like about open broadcasters, you really have to be manual about making stuff work. Kind of like that. But once you do, it's awesome. Let's make this plain. Whoops, wrong button. Talking about the original Deus Ex? I did admittedly like the original Deus Ex quite a bit. And it is a game that can be replayed. It has some issues, admittedly, replaying it, as all old PC games do. Once you get over those, I'd call that a game that actually withstood the test of time, personally. Well, the idea here, you know, I've tried to say your name before and I failed it. I'm just going to call you Adia. Is, try and think of an old game, you know, older game that not only was good at the time, but if you sat down and played it right now, you'd enjoy it just as much. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing with Earthbound right here. You know, I love this game. If I actually sat down and actually played Earthbound right now, I'd be like, yes, heck yes, I would love this. Hey, Token Gamer, what is up? I'm glad you caught the stream. My favorite thing is Flare. Now we're going to skip ahead of it. I still don't have an X button. This is starting to weird me out. Oh, right. Talk to her. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, Pax, are you still there? You're not there anymore. You're probably not even watching. Oh, well. I feel like I'm just doing something wrong. Was it R, maybe? That's A. Okay, you know what? Let's put this back over here. Ah, grab this. Oof. Up, left, down, down, right. B A Y X. Translate L R. Well, I agree, Third. In fact, I think you were there for our discussion about that. I was talking in somewhere about how many older games flat out deserve proper remakes. Not, you know, just keep the gameplay, keep the core of what you're looking at here. There we go. There we go, that's better. But revamp the UI, revamp the graphics. Basically, the entire point is to add modern conveniences. XCOM, if you'll forgive me for being honest, in my opinion, is a game I think that could really use a proper remake. Because, well, the original game was fantastic, right? I think most people would agree with me about XCOM. The Dig, there's another excellent example. But, yeah, rip LucasArts. Still kind of broken up about that. But, you know, XCOM, you take the original XCOM, you fix up the UI, maybe polish the graphics a little bit, add a few other customization options to the game and it'll polish it a little bit, and boom, there you go, proper remake, awesome game. Don't have to change anything about the core whatsoever because XCOM was amazing. The end. You know what I mean? Howdy, the Giro and Bro. I'm going to be so terrible about this. I feel bad already. Lord knows I'm not one to talk with a name like Arshe and Gaia, but I have such a trouble pronouncing names because pronunciations have always been strange in my brain. It's Dutch. I can't do Dutch. I can't do Dutch at all. I am so bad with those pronunciations. I keep messing them up and thinking they're Russian. We're going to call you the Gero. Is that cool? If that's not cool, tell me. I want to get this right, or have something acceptable. Oh goodness. Jerry, you got it, Jerry. I will call you Jerry. But anyways, what's up, man? I've got what's funny, I keep getting people subscribing to my tweets and Facebook as I'm playing here. I find myself wondering if they're watching the stream or if they're or if they're just watching the YouTube video where I announce that I have a Twitter and stuff like that. Bax, are you back yet? Probably not even watching. Is he in the chat? Let's find out. Goodness, there's a lot of people on. I think that's a new record for me. In fact, hang on a second. Whoops, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button. Don't look at that map that you just saw. Anybody who's part of the chat, or any who's part of the online group. Yeah, I'm at a record for viewers. Wow. You guys are awesome. Is that remake coming out in the UK, Scottish? I've been wondering about that. I know they finally announced it's coming out here. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. But granted, I'm just kind of rambling now. I already had my big speech about old games versus new games a bit ago. And I'm just kind of idly playing Earthbound while I try to figure out what the heck is wrong with this. Oh, I agree. A Freelancer remake would be incredible. Freelancer, XCOM, Deus Ex. I could actually start, if I started really naming all the games I think really deserve modern remakes of Convenience, UE, etc. The list of games would be easily into the 3 digits without even trying. And if I ever get infinite money and power, you bet, I tell you what I'm going to be doing. Let me give you an example of one right off the top of my head that occurs to me that I know a lot of fans of the older games would like. Diablo 1 is one of those games that, if you really polished it, picked it up, fixed the storyline perspective, added more dialogue, added more story in general, made the game itself not a pain to play, boom, there you go, awesome game. Civilization 2, there's another good one. In the console thing, we've got Secret of Mana, that's another excellent example. Or, well, admittedly, Final Fantasy Adventure actually did have a remake, so there's that. But anything in the Seiken Densetsu series really needs to be looked at again, I think, personally. Let's go back over here. I've actually looked at Star Citizen, admittedly. I haven't played it extensively for obvious reasons. I haven't played much extensively for obvious reasons. Ah. Ha. One choice to get around FF6. Done. No question. Didn't even have to think about that for longer than a second. Boom. Q snapped. Give me my proper FF6 remake, you bastards. You were already making it. Whoops. Here's one for you if you're talking about, granted this isn't quite similar to Star Citizen, Starlancer, or Freelancer, but Master of Orion, 1 or 2. I personally prefer 2. But that's just me. A proper remake, Snowy, is what I mean. If you played FF4 on the DS, that, in my opinion, is pretty much the pinnacle example of what a proper remake should be. Complete overhaul of the graphics, the system, the basic gameplay. They added New Game Plus, they added functionality, extra stuff. They kept the game, it was still clearly FF4, added dialogue, added story, added voice acting, added CGI. Basically, improving... of course, this is being disingenuous, but you improve the game in every way while not taking away anything that made the game great. That's what I call a proper remake. Another good example of that would actually be Final Fantasy Origins when they remade FF1, which suddenly made FF1 a good game. Because the original Final Fantasy 1, in my opinion, just was a game that did not withstand the test of time. Too many problems with it, too many difficulties. But when they remade it, when they gave it a proper remake and revamped it, FF Origins was actually a good game. Go figure. Now, this is, of course, all just my opinion, but you get the point. And yeah, Kickstarter, as I mentioned earlier, I'm quite glad that Kickstarter exists, and I hope that it will continue to be used properly and not abused. Lord knows there's plenty of potential for abuse there. That is perhaps the biggest problem with the whole proper remakes thing, and the reason we see so few of those. We do see a few, thank God. Hey, welcome back, McLollipop. One of the reasons we see so few proper remakes is proper remakes actually require time and money, you know? Just like a brand new game would take, because you're not just porting it, you're not just giving it a high-def polish like FF10's hardly different version, which is coming out soon. And suddenly we hear the noise. Anyways. But yeah, like, if you actually want to do a proper remake, there's real development time to consider there, and from a money perspective, and I stress the way I say that, not the developer's perspective, but from a money perspective, it has to be considered whether or not all that time, development, and capital is worth putting into something that is basically just revamping an existing game. Will it sell? Will it sell as well? Blah, 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 blah. Which is a damn shame, because I guarantee you, just about every game I've mentioned, and you guys have mentioned in the chat, you gave them a proper modern remake, they would sell. I guarantee you I'd buy every one of them. Ah. So here's hoping we got to see a little bit more of those in the modern era. I just realized I'm still playing Earthbound kind of casually here. I was kind of hoping for Pax to come back, but he's just gone. I should, like, poke him. The D20 rings. Nice. Oh, goodness. I should probably get some food at some point. What do you guys think? Should I eat today? Should I bother? Actually, there is one other thing I wanted to talk about. There are lots of games... Oh, hey, Pax, what's up? Pax, real quick. Did the X button on the SNES version of Earthbound work? Is that why I'm screwed up? Because here, check this out. I hit A, it pulls up the menu. Just, you know, right there, boom, like that. I hit X, absolutely nothing happens. So... I don't remember how it was in the SNES. I haven't played... it's been too long since I've played Earthbound. As while I wait for Pax's response. No, I've done Starvation. It's not as fun as it sounds. Yeah, I'm not sure either, because I went over to... I pulled up FF6, hit X, and it pulled up the menu just fine. I think the Oculus Rift is just going to be another gadget thing. That's just my opinion, of course, but yeah. Ah, stretch. Anyways, alright, so, like I said, there's one other thing I want to talk about. Yes, I've played Shin Megami Tensei. Not actually my thing. I do not like the whole theme. I don't like the presentation style. It's a little bit too anime for me personally. I also really don't care for the Persona games, even though I know those are completely different from Shin Megami Tensei. But I just thought I'd mention that because I have also given the Persona games a try as well. Don't you cry the time? Aha! That explains so much. God, I was so messed up over my X button not working. Damn it, Earthbound. Why are you so different than every other RPG ever? How dare you be different? Oh, yeah, it's a relief. Yay, my X button isn't malfunctioning. Life is good. Alright. There are a large number of games I would like to stream. Challenge runs, speed runs, that kind of thing. I would very much enjoy doing this kind of thing. I've got quite a few people in chat here, or on stream here, so I'm just kind of curious what you guys would think. These are all things... I know I said last night that I was going to start taking my friend's advice and just doing whatever I wanted and hope that other people enjoy it as well. But I am still kind of curious. For example, I would love to play through Super Metroid on the stream with you guys. I'd love to play Yoshi's Island. Skyrim, I'd like to keep doing that. I was going to do original StarCraft, but I actually can't capture the video. For anybody who's played the original StarCraft on a modern PC, you understand the graphics problems related there too, so that's not going to happen. But Warcraft 3 is on the table, so I could do that. Yes, I would like to borrow a map. All the info is there, except for the info that isn't there. How convenient. There we go. And hey, the X button works like it should. Thank you, PAX, again. God. Honestly, I could just keep naming games. Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3, Mega Man X, I think I already mentioned that. Earthbound, the game I'm playing right now. I would love to actually really sit down and play this game. Trying to think of others. Honestly, the list is actually kind of large. You know what, let's actually pull up something here. Kingdom Hearts I can't do right now, unfortunately, Scottish. One of the reason I'm using emulators right now is because I have to. I do own all of these games properly, legitimately, and all that fun stuff. But I need a piece of hardware in order to hook it up to a video capture device, basically, in order to actually hook it up to the PC in order to stream with it. I do not have that, nor do I have the money to go out and grab one right now. I will eventually. I do have the plan to eventually buy that, so I could do PS2 games, PS3 games, GameCube games, etc., etc., etc. But that has anything of that type has to wait. Basically, I'm limited now to the PC, the SNES, the NES, and that's kind of it, for all intents and purposes, and the DS, sorta. StarCraft 2, I could do StarCraft 2. I do love StarCraft 2, those are awesome games. I mean, honestly, I could just kind of go down the list here. I love so many of these games. One person suggested I do Breath of Fire 2. No, I cannot emulate the PlayStation 1, I'm afraid. Like I said, SNES, NES, PC, that really is my limitation right now. Chrono Trigger, I'm already doing that twice, actually. Evo Online, Donkey Kong Country, and any of the Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest I'd love to do. Final Fantasy 2 I'd like to do. Final Fantasy 6 I'd love to do. I already kind of have stuff for that. I'm not doing Illusion of Gaia, I thought about that. But that's kind of a long, slow game that... It's another one of those games that was an experiment, and a lot less people liked that than they did Earthbound. So... Kirby games are always awesome. Legend of Zelda games, always awesome. Oh, stretch. Dude, Breath of Fire 2 is hard, and you know it. Everybody knows it. We got Lufia. Any of the Mario games. I already mentioned Yoshi's Island, there's Super Mario World, Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3. There's also Mega Man 7, also a fantastic game. What else? Ogre Battle. Ogre Battle would be fun. I'm just kind of glancing here. Punch-Out. Hell yes. Give me some Punch-Out going on. Secret of Mana. Oh, I'd love to play Secret of Mana. That would be amazing. I'm not sure I could do a totally non-lethal Deus Ex, to be a little bit honest with you. I'd also have to rebuy it. I've lost my copy. Not that it's a huge issue, I just would have to go back and rebuy it. Yes, I am going to continue the Oblivion playthrough. Without question or hesitation. I will not do Star Ocean for one very simple reason. I would prefer to do the PSP version of Star Ocean, which is a pretty good remake of that, and that's going to require that hardware again to be able to hook my PSP up into the PC. Oh, goodness. Oh, God. Okay. Mario All-Stars, that'd be fun. Mario RPG, oh, that'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to do Mario RPG. Screw you, PAX. I already mentioned Punch-Out. I would, you know what, I should probably do, I'm gonna actually see something here. Hang on a second. Let's do a save state real quick. Down, 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 calm it down. I'm in the wrong thing, aren't I? No, it should be right. T. In the T's. There it is. I will not be doing Shining Force. I've never actually been a fan of that series, unfortunately. And I say that because it's not a bad series, it's just never been my thing. I am definitely not doing big rigs. Screw you, third. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Bioshock franchise, I don't know. I do actually have a review of Bioshock up. If you've watched it, you understand that I'm not actually a huge fan of the Bioshock series, to be completely honest. While I acknowledge the quality and I can enthuse about it and talk about it, I don't really enjoy playing it, if that makes any sense. So, not something I would really get into. It's like the System Shocks, which, of course, I guess, System Shock 2. It's a game that I acknowledge the quality of, but I'm never playing that game again. Oh my goodness. Is that everything on the list? Star Ocean, Oblivion, yes. Did I answer the Oblivion question? I can't remember if I did. Yes, I will. I do plan on continuing my Oblivion playthrough. I still have the save, still have everything ready to go. I'm curious what you guys think of this. I don't know how many of you are even aware of this. This is called Zelda Parallel Worlds. Back in a lot of people, there's a whole community that does custom games edited out of existing ones, like this one. Let's go ahead and start here. I'm already 4 hours into this one, and as you can see, it's obviously Link to the Past, right? But anybody who's familiar with Link to the Past at all can already tell that this is not Link to the Past. You understand what I'm saying here? They took the engine and made a completely different game out of it. There's quite a few games like this. Mega Man is a very popular game to be remade like this, for example. Let's go and do that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Whoops. Yay, piece of heart. Uh-oh. There we go. Yay! Honestly, I don't think I could bring myself to play Monkey Island again. I'm not sure. I haven't tried recently. I am afraid, as weird as this sounds, that Monkey Island is one of those games that is more nostalgia than actually good, if you understand what I'm saying. If you were there for the beginning part of this video, you know what I'm talking about. Whoops. Let's try and do that a little bit better. There we go. Sorry. Whoa, where the heck are we? Those hurt. Awesome. Oh, dear God, I can't hurt these things. Run! Run! Oh my God. Have I mentioned that most of these hacks are much harder than their existing games? Oh my goodness. Oh God. Okay. Gotta make it do the thing. Ah, thank God I made it. Oh, holy crud. Okay. There's the Kinosaur. There we go. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up! Oh, that's just cruel. And... oh, I didn't die. Oh my goodness. Do I have... yes, I do. Go! Go, 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 go. Oh, no, shoot! I'm dead. Ugh. Ah, well. Command and Conquer is a series that... I'm very weird about. Like, for example, some of the games in Command and Conquer, Red Alert comes to mind, Red Alert 2 especially. Absolutely love those games. The original Command and Conquers I can't bring myself to play anymore. Damn, I was too slow. The old Yui the old AI are just so frustrating. The pathfinding. Oh my god, the pathfinding. Oh god. See, I feel bad. And this is kind of the truth. This is one of the reasons I wanted to address this whole old versus new thing, because I do feel bad. Because I'm looking at all these games, you know, SNES games, NES games, GameCube games, you know, that I'm just like, yeah, I'd love to play these, but everybody in my chat is mentioning games that I either don't want to play or don't own anymore and stuff like that, and I feel really bad about that. I feel like I'm being I'm disappointing you guys. It's like, I'd love to play this, and you're all like, well, we don't give a damn about that. We want to see you play this other game you don't even own. Oh, well, shoot. You know. Let's go ahead and close this down for now. Oh, goodness. Is my back starting to give me issues? I should probably stop streaming soon. Well, I kind of have been listening. And, screw you, PAX. Yeah, wing commanders are actually a problem. Like I've said before, a lot of old PC games are hard to play nowadays. You know what? I'd love to do Kingdom Hearts. I'll do Kingdom Hearts. Unfortunately, that will have to wait until I have the hardware, but that is on my list of games to do once I do. I'd love to do several of the Zeldas once I have that capacity too. Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, for example. I'd love to do those. Metroid Prime. I would love to play through Metroid Prime. I've actually really been looking forward to that. Four Sword Adventures, that's one of those Zeldas that most people tend to skip over, but I actually really enjoy. Mario Sunshine, maybe. Red Alert 2 is a game that I... the Minish Cap, that's another good one. Red Alert 2 is a game that I enjoy, but I think it's mostly a nostalgia thing. I actually went back to play, or replay I should say, Red Alert 2 last year. And I was like, yeah, Red Alert 2. And I was really sad because it was mostly a nostalgia thing. Going back and playing it, I just did not enjoy it as much as I did back in the day. I will add a caveat, though. There was one thing about Red Alert 2 I really did enjoy, even right now, and that's the cutscenes. Those are still just as awesome as they were back then. Because three Romanovs are our legacy to consider. I can't even begin to do it. My throat's way too many issues right now. Giedlers. Well, let me look at some NES games here. Because there's a couple NES games I'd really like to play too. I'm going to toss them out. If any of these really jump at you, feel free to say something in chat, okay? Arkista's Ring. Castlevania 2. Specifically 2. I'll play Castlevania 1 as well if people request it. But, you know, the original Double Dragon, the original Contra, DuckTales, Earthbound Zero, Kirby's Adventure, Zelda 2, Mario 2, Mario 3, all 6 Mega Mans, Punch-Out, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3. Well, actually, you know what? I will not play Ninja Gaiden 3 because that game is evil. Unless you guys want to see me just die over and over again, then I will play Ninja Gaiden 3. Okay, I got some DuckTales ones. Okay, we got a bite on DuckTales and Castlevania 2. That's awesome. I already mentioned Super Mario Brothers, Zelda 2. Oh, stretch. Oh, goodness. What else we got here? Boy and His Blob. I suck at Boy and His Blob, but I would play Boy and His Blob just to enjoy it. That's probably another one of those nostalgia games. Adventure Island. Anyone even remember that? I wouldn't mind playing that. What else we got here? Can you guys see this? No, I turned it off. Okay. Just kind of going down the list here. I will not play that. No. The NES Batman. I've been debating that purely because the NES Batman is actually really big in the speedrunning community. It's a very difficult game that requires a great deal of concentration and luck manipulation, stuff like that, and so... Yeah, I talked about the Shocks series already a bit. Heck, I even did a video about them. What else we got here? Up to the B's here. I will not do Battletoads. I suck at Battletoads. Okay, I might do Battletoads if people request it. Bionic Commando, maybe. I'm looking at NES games right now, just kind of going down the list alphabetically. Burger Time. Anyone remember Burger Time? I bet nobody out there has even heard of it. Someone purchased it. for me. My grandmother purchased it for me for a birthday once, and I felt obligated to play it. I already said Castlevania. Oh, here's one for you. Chippendales Rescue Rangers. I would definitely play that. That was a good game. What else we got here? I would have to purchase Dark Souls or Demon Souls. Obviously, I could do that on the PC. I've been debating doing that purely as sort of a, watch me fail kind of a thing, because I don't like those games, and I'm not good at them. So it would be kind of a comedy thing, if you understand what I'm going with. It would just be like me failing miserably, and people get to laugh at me kind of deal. I don't know. Still debating that one. What else we got here? I already said Contra. Up to the D's now. Darkwing Duck. It's funny. I just hit the D's, and I was just looking at Darkwing Duck like, nah, nobody's heard of that. I would totally play Darkwing Duck. Even though it's not as good as Chippendales or DuckTales, I would still play it. Let's see what else we got here. Still in the D's. Already said Earthbound. Alright, we're up to the F's all of a sudden. I will not do Rad Racer. Ghostbusters, Fire. Yes, I have played Harvest Moon, believe it or not. I actually enjoyed the GBA one quite a bit. And there's another one on the DS, I believe, that looked pretty good to me. Not seeing a lot of games, no. I'm sorry about the delay here. I'm literally just going through alphabetically through every single NES game, which is quite a few, if you're not aware of that. I will not do Persona. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't like Persona games. I will not do Metal Slug. I do not own the Metal Slug series, and I've never actually gotten into it. There's the Kirby games again. Up to the K's now. See, this is why I feel bad. I get so many requests for games I either don't like or don't want to play. You know what I mean? Like Metal Gear. The only Metal Gear I will play is Metal Gear 3. Metal Gear Solid 3, if I can learn to talk properly. That is the only one I would be willing to replay, because I don't like replaying the others. Maui Mallard. No. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You talking about the NES one? Oh no, Warcraft 3 is a yes. Warcraft 3 is a definite. Let me just emphasize here. Hang on just a second. Give me a moment here. Hang on. Ah. Now, I'm not sure... Yeah, shut up. If this will work the way I think it will. So I'm going to have to fiddle with things a bit. So give me a minute. Give me a minute here. Ignore the sounds you're hearing. There's nothing going on. Totally nothing. Is that right? Nope. What are you messaging me about, Pax? Whoops. Don't know why that got screwed up there. 90 by 1200, that's not gonna work. Okay, let's turn off this, turn off the chat, add a new... I have no idea if this is gonna work at all. I really don't. Super Mario World done. Without question. I love that game. 2 a.m. Well, get out of here, man. And I will see you later. Okay, shoot, it's not actually coming up as an option. Well, this sucks. Sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Okay. Oh, the thief games. I was actually wondering what you meant by that. The theft games? What the heck? You talking about Grand Theft Autos? Because if you really want to see me fail miserably, I could do that too. I'd at least consider that, though. Let's see here. Alright. Give me a second. I think I might have this working. Maybe. Probably not. But I'm gonna try, by God. And nothing will stop me. Except for failure, I guess. Failure will stop me. Dragon Age, you know what? Yeah, I would definitely consider doing Dragon Age too. Dragon Age TOO, not Dragon Age, the second one. Although I guess I could bring myself to replay DA2 as well. Just for fun. On easiest difficulty, because I don't feel like trying in that game. Most people, I'm sure, understand what I mean by that. Okay. Let's put this over here. And this over here. Come on, work. Work. You're not working. Why aren't you working? Seriously, why aren't you working? Okay. Oh, there we go. Work, damn you. Work. There we go. Yay! I think I got it working. Slightly harder to do than it should have been. Let's move this over here. Move this over here. I don't actually own Dishonored, so I'd have to debate it. I get the feeling that Gopia there really wants me to play the Deus Ex games. I'm not sure why. It's just a hint, you know, it's just a thing, you know what I mean? Not sure why. Oops, wrong one. Which one, Pax? God, I've got so many custom maps, this isn't even funny. No? I shouldn't have frozen. Is it still uploading here? I think it's still uploading here. I'll debate Deus Ex, in all honesty. I'm really hesitant to go back to the Deus Ex games. But that is not a no. I'll tell you what, though, if I do the Deus Ex games, I guess I really should say game, it'll be the original. That's the game I'm most interested in playing. Oh, goodness. Screw it. Let's just do this. Is this even streaming properly? Someone give me a hint here.
I have wandered alone for many years, little Misha.
Oh, good.
Yet sometimes even
I really had to jury-rig this to get it running.
Endless solitude.
Hey, Rexar.
I have watched the other races.
Screw you.
I have seen their squabbling.
You were so hard to find in Desolus, like 4 times in a row.
Scar the land and drive the wild things to extinction.
Ah, well, we can meddle with that a little bit. Pull it out to like that size. There we go.
No, they cannot be trusted. Only beasts are above deceit.
That's as big as it's getting, so...
A battle.
Actually, I suppose I could do one other thing. Hang on a second.
Mongrels, taste the steel of Mogren's axe.
There we go. That's as good as it's getting right there.
Hold fast, stranger. You shall not
If
stand
this is
alone.
still a tiny thing into the screen, something's wrong. Let's scroll up a bit here. Monster Hunter. No, I am actually not a fan of Monster Hunter series. I kind of liked the Wii one, to be honest. But I felt like it failed on the potential of some of the things that I enjoyed about the way it was going. It was too slow, too aggravating, and too frustrating for me to play. So, well, we'll not be doing the Monster Hunter series. Dishonored, which I don't own still. That's the Old Republic. I'd have to debate that. That's another one of those games that I have very serious issues with getting to play on a modern PC. And on top of that, I'm not actually 100% sure I could stream that unless I have... In order for me to stream a game, it has to be windowed or windowed full screen. I cannot stream any game that is pure on full screen, so unless I could jury-rig a game into that, it's not going to work. You understand? So I'm not sure if I could get KOTOR to do that. I'd have to look into it. Uther Party, yes. Definitely in favor of Uther parties. Bard's Tale, no.
Unleash my strength.
Owl's Rock.
I've got the scent.
Ooh, what? God, this is weird to play in windowed. Oh, that's actually really disorienting to play in windowed. Oh God. Okay, I'm not sure I can play this. Is there like a button for map scrolling? No, there isn't, is there? Wait, maybe. Keyboard scroll. Okay. Is that... Okay, here we go. Okay, I can do this. Never mind, I can sort of play. It's just really friggin' weird.
I've got the scent.
And I'm going the wrong way. Ah! This way, this way. For anybody out there who's curious, welcome to World of Warcraft's beta. Or actually, alpha.
On the prowl.
Yes, I'm using OBS arrow key.
I've got the scent. Our paths converge.
Right. Can't use the mouse.
I've got the scent. Flush them out.
The Fallout games, I would only consider 3 in New Vegas. To my great dismay. The original Fallout games are games I cannot play. Baldur's Gate.
On the prowl.
I'd have to think about those. I really would. Because Baldur's Gate is a game that is really hard for me to go back to because of its UI. Even back in the day, the UI bothered me, if you know what I mean.
I'm acting on instinct.
And going back to that would be something that would be tasking.
Our paths converge.
And I hate to say it like that, but it's just being honest, you know.
You're alone.
I know some people didn't actually have a problem with the interface of the Baldur's Gates and the Icewind Dales and Planescape Torment, all that.
I've got the scent.
League of Legends. Oh, I get what you're saying. I was gonna say, what? No, I'm not playing League of Legends.
Our paths converge.
Heck no.
I'm acting on instinct.
No combat torment. Ha! I would
On
debate
the
that.
prowl.
Because I bet you I could pull that off, though.
What's your business here?
I carry a message for your war chief.
Beyond good and evil. Fallout 3 New Vegas with mods. Well,
Our paths
I refuse to play Elder
converge.
Scrolls games without mods anyways, so I think that works for me.
I wander alone.
Good night, Every. See you around later.
On the prowl.
Hello, Thrall. What's up? Oh, stretch. Full Metal Alchemist. No.
I've seen its like in many
No.
years. Stay close to me.
Shore up those supports. When the razor wings kick up again, they'll tear those roofs right off. Yes, War Chief.
Those
A
poor
moment, War
peons.
Chief. I come to deliver a message.
You know, only Rexar could walk right up to Thrall himself and be like, "Excuse me,
How
I
did
need a
you
moment
come
of your
by the
time."
support? Where is Mogren?
He fell in the wilds. His last wish was that you receive this message.
Who are you, warrior?
I am.
You know what I
Rexar,
mean, Magman.
last
Fallout 3 and
son
Fallout New
of
Vegas are Elder
Lothar.
Scrolls games.
Magna
The
Thrall.
end.
I've heard tales of your people.
I'm sure there's another term, a proper term, for that type of gameplay, and I don't care right now.
It's an honor. We've built this kingdom, Duratar, for all of our kind. Duratar is as much your home as it is mine, Rexar. Stay a while.
And listen.
Accept what hospitality we can offer.
Sure, a Bethesda game.
It is the least we can do.
Whatever.
Perhaps I have spent too long
Except,
in the wild.
not to be technically on it, but New Vegas was was done by Obsidian. Although I guess that just still counts as a Bethesda game, doesn't it? So never mind. I defeated my own argument.
Founding a nation is tiresome work.
Ah,
There are many
Prince of
around.
Persia's.
Need your help.
Well, I could do the
Simply talk
original
to them.
Prince of Persia on the PC, but I'd need
This
the
is Alokar of the
the hardware
Dark
in order to hook up the
He is
PS2
one of my
for the other
best
ones.
Scouts.
And honestly, I'd only really want to play the first and third, I think? I'm trying to remember which ones are which. The good ones, as I like to call it, but I don't remember which were which.
Abby Jaman,
Hey man, heal my bear man. Thank you man.
my quarry nears. I'm acting on instinct.
Let's go get a quest,
I've got the
'cause
scent.
that's how World of Warcraft works. Oh, stretch. Torchlight. I don't know. Torchlight's one of those weird games for me. Hey,
Flush
go
them
get the
out.
quest. Like, I actually have nothing negative to say about Torchlight 1 or 2, but what they are is a game style that doesn't actually appeal to me. It's your roguelike game, you know? And I've never been that big into roguelike games. The only exceptions have actually been Diablo 1, 2, and 3. And most of that has been because of excellent story telling and stuff like that. No, I didn't, Pax. Never picked it back up. Oh, stretch. Half-Life. Half-Life has the usual problem with older games. However, I am not opposed to Half-Life. If I could get it working and get the OBS to capture the stream, I would be willing to play Half-Life.
Unleash my strength.
Yeah, I wasn't even listening to that quest guy. I am such a hypocrite. I get so mad at people in World of Warcraft who don't listen to that. Hey, Ashikel. What's going on?
Our paths converge. On the
Well, even if I played the Black Mesa, the actual problem remains the same, you know what I mean? Does it have a windowed mode? Does it have a windowed full screen mode? If it doesn't, can't play it. What do we got here? Let's just get the bonus.
flush them out.
Would you stop reincarnating? Frickin' centaurs. See, this is why the centaurs are evil, guys. Anybody who's watching this from my online game. This is why the centaurs are evil. Okay, apparently Black Mesa can do windowed mode, so That's good to know. So, okay, we'll go ahead and put that on the list. Half-Life.
You be tricksy.
In the form of Black Mesa. Path of Exile. That's a good question. I'm going to look that up, because I don't remember that game. What is this? Because that sounds familiar. Oh, stretch. No, I have not played this. In fact, I have only barely heard of this. Sounds like Terra Online. Zing, as they say. Sorry, I actually have very negative things to say about Terra Online, which is one of the reasons I haven't wanted to review it. It's because I'd just be like, well, this sucked.
What lies before
Alright, let's manipulate some AI here real quick.
On the prowl.
God, this is hard to do without camera control. One more heal in me.
Our paths converge.
Bewildering. So apparently,
I'm acting on instinct.
in Path of Exile, there are bewildering shoulder pads. Unless you're referring to Terra Online, in which case that makes perfect sense too. Is there a healing well? Or an inn? Something?
I'm acting on instinct.
Anything! Guys, I need to heal! Ooh, shoot. I love Warcraft 3, and I admit it freely. While the graphics are a bit old, as I've mentioned before, I can live with old graphics. As long as the UI, the control scheme of the game is fun, interesting, you know, smooth, intuitive, that kind of a thing. And lower left. Well, I know you're not talking about this because that's just a res stone. Anyways, as long as the UI of the game is still fun and I can still enjoy it, the graphics won't bother me. I mean, for example, I was playing Mega Man 2 earlier. Those graphics genuinely don't actually... They don't bother me. There's nothing wrong with them, I think. Because the gameplay is sufficiently fun to make up for that. You know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this? And that's one of the reasons I mentioned that. The aesthetic is more important to me than the actual graphics quality. I mean, obviously, let's look at this nice and close here. This is pretty low graphics, all things considered. But aesthetically, I find it pleasing. And even if I didn't, it doesn't matter because the game's awesome.
On the prowl.
I'm probably not making FF13. You know what? I think I will do that, Pax. Whenever I finally do my full playthrough of FF13, I will do so on the stream. That'll, of course, have to wait until I can hook the PS3 up, but, you know, whatever. Alright. Let's go into the wilds. Dawn of War. Now, of course, the question is which Dawn of War? Dark Crusade is my personal favorite. I've played the very first of the Dawn of War 2s.
On the prowl.
I can't even remember the name of it. Maybe it was just Dawn of War 2, I don't know. I actually own all the expansions to that, I just haven't played them yet.
I've got the scent.
What time is it, speaking of which? 7:20. Probably going to stop streaming soon. My throat's starting to bother me. It's getting painful to sit here, and I need to get food sometime.
On the prowl.
Actually, to my great surprise, I did not mean to do that. I really enjoyed the new XCOM. It was very cheesy and hokey, but some part of that was the appeal, and the gameplay itself was quite fun and surprisingly true to the XCOM ideal. So, that's just my opinion, of course. But I find myself enjoying the new XCOM. Oh, thank God! Enjoying the new XCOM more than I thought I would. Let's get some heals going on here. Tomb Raider 2013, I'm going to not say my opinion on that because I have nothing good to say about that game. Let's see, Guardian of the Light. Which one was that? Let's see here. Which one was this? This is one of the most recent ones, wasn't it? Was this after Underworld? I guess I could just look. This is a bit after Underworld. Oh, this is a spin-off, that's why. Well, actually, I didn't play most of the recent Lara Croft, to be completely honest with you. Alright. What are my thoughts on the new console war? Well, this is going to sound horrible, but I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. Farming... You know what? I will totally play Farming Simulator 20... No, I'm kidding. I will never play that game. Screw that. To be completely honest about the new console war, I couldn't care less. I'm sorry to say it so bluntly, but the 720, or the next box, as I've been calling it, doesn't look interesting at all. The PS4 literally doesn't even evoke a reaction in me. It's like, okay, it's a new PlayStation, and it's got more graphics. And that's it. There's nothing to excite me, there's nothing to make me angry, there's nothing to make me happy or enthusiastic or negative or anything. It's just I'm looking at it like, okay, it's there, it's the PS4, it's great, now what? And that's kind of where I'm at with the next box as well. Both of them are just staring at it like, okay. As of the moment, I have absolutely no plans on picking up either. And, yeah, really don't know what else to add to that.
I've got the scent.
I'd probably be willing to pick up, or by pick up I mean play, stream, Dawn of War, Dark Crusade, and the one after that, which was Soulstorm, I believe? If I'm thinking of that one right. I really enjoyed the Orc campaign in Soulstorm. Or maybe I'm thinking of... No, yeah, that's right. Orc campaign in Soulstorm. Because that was awesome.
I'm acting on instinct.
Yeah, Scottish, as I've said a dozen times, any console sits on its library for me. And so far, every single game for all of the new consoles... well, I shouldn't say all, that's actually being wrong. For the next box and for the PS4 is literally nothing. There's nothing there. I don't care about anything that's coming out on them. The games out on them I either already have on another system or simply don't care about, you know what I mean? The other problem I'm having is with the Wii U, admittedly. As much as I try to be supportive of Nintendo, the simple fact is there's only about, 5 games on the Wii U that I really am enthusiastic about. Now, admittedly, all 5 of those games I look at like, yeah, but, dang. It's just, 5 games is not enough to justify a system, you know what I mean? Peakman. Loading, please wait. They do, you're absolutely right. They actually have story modes and everything.
This must be the valley Drekthar spoke of. This shouldn't be too difficult.
Why do I have options? Sound. Let's turn the music up a bit too. There we go.
On the prowl.
The Yakuza games. I'd have to buy them,
Our paths converge.
and then I'd have to get the setup to play them.
Our paths converge.
Move, Misha.
I'm ready to track. I'm acting on this. Must be the shimmer weed. I'll need to gather 5 more bushels.
Here. Nah.
What lies before me?
I've heard good things about the Yakuzas, admittedly. The obvious problems are the obvious problems. I'd have to purchase them and then play them for the first time. Not really opposed to the idea. Not like I am some games. But, I'd be picking those games up pretty much brand new and playing them for the first time. So, there is that.
Unleash the beast.
Admittedly, I'm kind of weird about Jade Empire. I try not to give my opinion honestly about that game. Which probably sounds bad.
On the prowl.
Let's go get the other one.
Alone. I'm acting on instinct.
I think we need to go buy some healing items. Silent Hill 2, no, absolutely not.
On the prowl.
And I'll tell you 2 reasons why. First of all, while I acknowledge that Silent Hill 2 is an amazing game, it's really not my kind of game,
Ready to try.
and I would not be doing it justice. Oh, really? Oh, whatever. Second problem, I'm not... Silent Hill 2's big triumph is the fact that it has wonderful atmosphere, if you know what I mean. And if you've played the game, you know exactly what I mean. So,
What lies before me?
just try to picture playing Silent Hill 2 with this horrible, dreadful, nightmarish, oppressive, alone, terrifying atmosphere. And then you just hear me kind of chatting, "Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, everything's cool. No problems. What's up? Yeah." You know, it's not going to work. Salmon Max. Oh my god. I keep waiting for someone to say you should play Leisure Suit Larry. I can just picture someone being like, "Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry." I don't think so, man. Appreciate the enthusiasm.
I feel you, man.
Oh my god. Please tell me they're not actually making a Leisure Suit Larry remake. I think that would make me very sad inside. Unless it's just a hardly different remake, in which case I'm okay with that. Watch Dogs. Yes, I have in fact looked at Watch Dogs. I am cautiously enthusiastic about that. A game like that really is only going to be amazing or terrible. I mean, there's really nothing else for it. So we'll see. Kind of looking forward to seeing what happens with that.
I feel you, man.
Space Channel. You know, Third, I love your enthusiasm. The Arkham games. Can those be played in windowed mode or in windowed full screen? Because if they cannot, then I have the problem I always have. Oh, you know what? Do I have that installed right now? If I have Arkham, any of the Arkhams installed right now, I'll just go check.
I'm acting.
Ooh, shoot.
Mangy cur.
And of course, now that I'm on here, someone's going to be bugging me to play Tor. Although I should. I kind of left him in the lurch last night because I passed out. I always feel bad about that. Oh, yeah, I'll play this game with you.
I'm acting on instinct.
Alright, do I have any of the Arkhams installed? No, I don't. Well, that sucks. How big are these games? 9 gigs and 17 gigs. Okay, I guess we'll be testing that later. Oh, screw off. Well, okay, if the Arkham games can be played in windowed, done. I haven't actually done a full 100% playthrough of them, whatnot, so I would actually rather enjoy playing through the Arkham games. And as I said earlier, good example of modern games that really are excellent, that spit in the face of the whole old games are better rule, because they're amazing. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is a very well done atmospheric game that I don't enjoy at all. And that's about as kind as I can be towards that.
I'm acting on instinct. Our paths converge.
As I think I've mentioned before, whoops, there are actually quite a few games that I appreciate in the horror genre that I do not like at all and never want to play.
Our paths
Mostly because the little one loves horror games, and she constantly exposes me to them.
I'm acting on instinct.
No, they're not. I actually can't think of a horror game that I really enjoyed off the top of my head. I mean, even the really good ones, Silent Hill, System Shock 2, Bioshock, even games of that level of quality, I'm just like, no. You know?
I'm ready.
Oh, shoot. Resident Evil 4 was so not a horror game. Anybody who calls Resident Evil 4 a horror game is like calling Last Action Hero a dramatic, Shakespearean piece. No. Resident Evil 4, one part of Resident Evil 4's charm was the incredibly campy way it went about itself. There was nothing horrifying about it. It was awesome.
I'm ready to try.
Damn it. Ah, go away, various chat windows. There we go. I do feel bad sometimes. I kind of already said this. But I get the impression that the vast majority of my viewers really like horror games, because I keep getting asked about them. And I keep being like, well, I mean, they're there. Like I said earlier, Snowy, I will replay Metal Gear Solid 3 because I consider that to be a truly excellent game that I enjoy playing, in addition to having a great story. I will not replay 1, 2, or 4. Sorry. I do not enjoy 1, 2, or 4 anywhere near to the same extent or degree. Ah. And I could say something extremely unkind about Metal Gear Solid 4 if I really felt like it, but I don't.
Our paths converge. I wander alone. I'm acting on instinct. Our paths converge.
See, clearly this is what I should have been playing earlier instead of Earthbound, because I'm just doing this without even thinking about it. This is just pure, yep, no problem. Chatting while playing, I'm good. I played through Metal Gear Solid 4 and was like, yeah, it's alright. I enjoyed Metal Gear Solid 4 more when I watched it on YouTube. And that's not me being hyperbole, that's not using rhetoric, that's actually the truth. There was a 100% video walkthrough of Metal Gear Solid 4, which also included some of the little joke things, and side missions, and all the little codec conversations, all that stuff, right? Basically, the whole game. And, that was... Whoa, I'm kind of wearing health there. Nope, there we go. And that was far more enjoyable for me than actually playing Metal Gear Solid 4. Much as I hate to admit to that, it's just the truth. Hey, he gets bashed now. She gets bashed. Psychonauts. I have no idea how I could get Psychonauts playing. I probably wouldn't do it anyways, to be honest with you. That's one of those old games I'd really have to work at, but that was an awesome game back in the day. Whoop, whoop.
I wonder.
And by the way, I just want to make something absolutely clear here. I'm not saying... I know I say this all the time in my YouTube videos. I'm not saying that I'm calling you stupid or wrong for saying, Metal Gear Solid 2 is your favorite, FF8 is your favorite, Mega Man 4 is your favorite. I will never call you stupid or wrong for having your opinion. I think the fact that we have differing opinions as human beings when it comes to something especially as varied as video games is awesome. I'm just saying I personally don't enjoy 1, 2, or 4 playing. And I don't really enjoy any of the PSP ones either. I tried to get into those, the Big Boss ones, didn't really get anywhere with it. Ah, there we go. I can't believe I'm still streaming. I really was just going to hop on and talk about this thing. Nostalgia versus good games versus old games, all that fun stuff. And I'm just kind of still going here. I am not, Pax. Quit making stuff up.
flush them out. Das Dingo.
I don't like games that, in response to the Tomb Raider thing, I don't like games that are unpleasant to play. That can be because the gameplay punishes you for playing it, like the original EverQuest. That could be because the UI makes you want to tear your fingers out. I could name several examples that I will not, for fear of stepping on people's toes. And I don't like games that are simply unpleasant to look at, to go through. When I see a game like that that is just so unnecessarily brutal and lacks any of the, ironically this is appropriate, Metal Gear Solid 3 survivalism things that I think a game like that should, none of the explorative nature of actually going through a tomb that I enjoy. I guess what I'm getting at here, I'm going to summarize this because I don't want to go into a whole mini-review here. There was nothing there that actually appealed to me. It was all unpleasantness. And as strange as this is going to sound, I don't like playing games that I find to be unpleasant. Whoops. Oh, fur. There we go. No, this one. Hurry. I could name another reboot that also came out very recently that I literally have the exact same issues with, just to make sure that people don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. The most recent Devil May Cry, or DMC, or whatever they actually call it, which is unpleasant, crude, and not something I enjoy at all. You know what I mean? Does this say health regen, or... Yeah, it's health regen. Let's put that on him.
I feel you, man. On the prowl.
I found nothing pleasant about the most recent DMC. The combat was boring. The characters were disinteresting, in my opinion. And the game was crude. It was unpleasant, like I said. And I don't play games that I find unpleasant like that. Did I finish the quest? Yes, I did. I've just been roaming around like an idiot for no reason when I finished the quest already. Which one was Metal Gear Rising? I'm going to have to actually look that up. Oh, Revengeance. I have nothing to say to that. I did enjoy Darksiders 1 and 2. That is quite true. They were enjoyable Zelda / Devil May Cry / God of War clones. And really, I've got nothing else to add there. They weren't spectacular, they were just fun. And I like that. Not exactly games that are going to change the world. But I am sad that the Darksiders series is now gone, thanks to the THQ crash. Yes, I am actually quite sad about 1313 going away. As if I didn't have enough reason to lament the loss of LucasArts. The fact that they shut down 1313 production really bothers me. I had a lot of high hopes for that game. So I guess the way I've been doing this has kind of been cat out of the bag about something that I've been quiet about for a while now. But I guess I'll go ahead and tell you guys, for anybody who's actually still watching this video, either in stream or whenever this goes onto YouTube. Get out of my way. Ah! Okay. There. I plan on starting up the Q&A thing again. The way I'm going to be doing the Q&A, and this is probably pretty obvious based on the way I've been doing it for the last several minutes now, is I'm going to be doing it on the stream. You know, people ask me questions over there in the chat, and I respond to them right here and now as I'm doing something else, like playing Warcraft or whatever. So, I'm not. This isn't an official Q&A yet. I'll do an announcement over on Twitter and Facebook saying, "Hey, Q&A at this date," once I figure out some timelines and stuff. But I just thought I'd let you guys know that is something that's in the works for the several people who have requested it.
On the prowl.
Speaking of which, let's go look at some other questions. I was very... how do I put this? I enjoyed the Thief games, but I never replayed them, which is really weird for me. Like, I don't know how to explain it properly. The games were very fun once time through, but I never actually felt the urge to replay them. Which is a shame, because the concept was fascinating. Yeah, let's go and grab that on him.
Our paths converge.
Yeah, exactly. Grow. I just don't enjoy that kind of thing. While I acknowledge that Battlestar Galactica was certainly very, very high quality and very well done, not my thing. Do not enjoy that kind of thing. Don't want that in my life. The Spirit of Engine games? That sounds very familiar. I'm gonna have to look that up too, though. Apparently, Third is telling me to blow it out my ear. Well, that makes me sad. Oh, this stuff. Yes, I have heard of this. I haven't really looked into it too much yet.
I've got the scent.
Where's the town? There we go.
We're under attack!
That's another thing I've noticed, and by the way, I'm not talking about you, Grow, but I have noticed several people and several trolls who I have since banned from my channel would make comments that they think it's strange that I am such a console gamer, and lamenting the fact that I talk about console games so much because, you know, PC gaming for life and all that stuff. If I haven't made it clear, I am both a PC and a console gamer, pretty much equally. But I noticed that, statistically speaking, the vast majority of my viewers seem to be... They tend to think more of PC games than they do console games. I'm not saying that's good or bad, it's just interesting to me. Not entirely sure why that is, either.
I've got the scent. I'm acting on.
And yes, I'm one of those weird people who actually enjoy Devil May Cry 4. You may make fun of me at your leisure.
Alone. On the prowl.
It sounds like something, or someone, is riling up those lizards. I'll look into it myself. Well, at least my potion is complete. Here, take a few vials of it. It'll serve you well.
Mwahaha.
I wander alone.
Well, yeah, Gopia, I consider myself to be a gamer. As weird as that sounds. Not a PC gamer, not a Nintendo gamer, not a Sony gamer. Is there a video game I like? Yes. Done. Cool. You know what I mean?
Greetings, warrior.
Oh,
Nazgul,
God.
Captain of the War Chief's security force. We've been having problems with the indigenous creatures attacking our borders. Perhaps
I feel weird that I've just been idly playing Warcraft 3 while I chat with you guys. I'm not actually streaming anything relevant here.
you can find their lair. Put an end to the
I should...
rampage. I'll see to it that you're rewarded.
What lies before me?
I do not consider myself either a brain nor a genius, so I'm not sure what to say to
On
that.
the prowl.
I am definitely Pinky, though. No question. Oh, I love Warcraft 3. This is not my favorite RTS ever, but it is definitely in the top 5. Like, actually, let me think about that for a moment.
New guy, huh? I'm Gazlo, chief engineer around these parts.
I'm actually going to go ahead and say Warcraft 3 is in my
We've
top
got work to
3
do, buddy.
RTSs of all
See,
time.
Me and my boys have been dredging out tunnels beneath the city, looking for underground wells. Problem is,
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like I'm starting it and grow. I understand. Most 99% of my viewers are completely cool and in the same boat I am, with the idea that the entire idea of a platform war is basically stupid. You enjoy those games, I enjoy these games, awesome, let's talk about it, you know? That's the mentality. Let's talk about how awesome gaming is, because gaming is awesome. If I haven't made it clear that that's my mindset by now, I have failed in some manner.
I'm acting on instinct.
I mean, for example, one of the things that I have gotten flack a lot for is the fact that I don't own an Xbox. It's basically the only console I don't at this point.
I'm acting on
And the simple reality of it is there's never been a significant justification for it. It's nothing against the Xbox. Really, it isn't. But every game on it that I do want, with, I think, 4 exceptions pack, something like that. Hang on, SR1... whatever. With a small handful of exceptions, every game I want on the Xbox is out on something else, usually a PC. And so, I have gotten absolutely nothing against the Xbox. And I wish people would stop saying that, damn it. But that's just me. 4 to 6. Well, okay, there's Saints Row 1.
I wander alone.
And I actually can't think of any else. Help me out, Pax. You just got several of these. My friend Pax just got an Xbox 360 given to him.
Our paths converge.
And so he went ahead and purchased several of the games for him. Because, you know, he had an Xbox. Blue Dragon, Vesperia, that's another Tales of Vesperia. Lost Odyssey, that's another good one. Freaking reincarnators, I swear. Hey, I'll see you later, Token. Glad you made it for the stream. Oh, Misha. You're not worth the mana. I'm still thinking about your question, Snowy. Don't think I'm ignoring it. I'm just thinking about it.
On the prowl.
See, the catch is I don't actually play competitive multiplayer games anymore. Haven't for years, actually.
Flush them out.
And most of the reason for that is because
Our paths converge.
for the most part, and I have to put it that way, the community in competitive multiplayer games tends to be terrible. Or I should put that more accurately, terrible by my impression, terrible by my opinion. You know, the kind of people who call you incredibly stupid or idiotic if you don't do things perfectly right the first time, all the time, and there's only one method to win, and if you're not fully optimized, then what's wrong with you?
On the prowl.
You know, that kind of thing. I don't get into that, and I get that from just about every competitive gameplay community that I've tried to get into in more recent years. Oh, goodness, excuse me. I need to adjust sitting. For those of you who don't know, sitting is painful right now. Okay. Okay.
I'm acting on instinct. I wander alone.
The last game I really played competitively.
On the prowl.
Well, I guess that's kind of debatable, because they all kind of were at the same time. Warcraft 3, of course. And then there was Team Fortress 2. Unreal Tournament 3, I believe. The most recent one, or at least what I believe to be the most recent one. I suppose I should add Defense of the Ancients, but when I say that, I am referring to the Warcraft 3 map. You know, Defense of the Ancients, not any of the other stuff that's cropped up since then. I tried to get into League of Legends and failed. Again, because of that community issue I just mentioned. Oops. And I tried to get into the Valve one, whose name I can't even think of right now. Same problem. And I think that's really it. Unfortunately, I just don't enjoy that as much as I used to. One of the things I keep thinking about doing and keep talking myself out of is StarCraft 2 to play competitively. And there's really one big reason for that. I wouldn't actually get very far in it. I know that. I'm not that skilled, competitively speaking, against other players at StarCraft 2. So I would play it, and
I'm acting on
you know, I'd tear up a few times. I'd probably enjoy myself doing so, and then I would get to the point where I'd hit the wall, where I started fighting people who would just demolish me in 2 minutes, and then I'd stop having fun. I enjoy a challenge, but having a challenge must always, in my mind, be subservient to having fun. You understand what I mean?
acting on instinct.
And so, the moment I am no longer having fun playing a video game, something's wrong. And I'm not going to do it anymore. So that's why I keep talking myself out of actually getting into competitive gameplay in StarCraft 2.
Gaslow City be sending some muscle.
Do you goblins have a plan?
Of course. If you can get us close enough to the tunnel support beams, we'll blast them to smithereens. Got to collect
I love
fuel
goblins.
on top of those rats and fix our problem up real nice.
Goblins are awesome.
Flush them
Oh,
out.
hello. Attack speed attack. Ooh.
Unleash my strength.
Come on, come on.
I've got the
I also admit,
Happy.
part of the reason I don't get into competitive gameplay like I used to
mic.
is I'm not as in order to play competitively in any game, you have to have the time to devote to it, and that's really what it boils down to. If you have the interest, and if you have any level of skill at all, you can train yourself to be, at the very least, good at a game, right? I don't have that time anymore. I know that's kind of hypocritical to say it right now,
Converge
as I'm sure Pax is already lunging to type at
on
me,
the prowl.
but I just don't have the time to really dedicate myself to being good like I used to. And so that's another reason why I haven't got to that. Yeah, I do enjoy watching the pro games, admittedly. And I freely admit this, the pros play at such a higher level than I do. One of my favorite things, I'll never forget this, was a guy, it was a video Pax linked to me, and it was a guy who was explaining that because it had hit the 1 minute and 35 second mark or something like that, and he hadn't seen one of two separate signs, that meant he could predict with like an 80 percentile what the enemy was doing based on that fact. I like that. I admittedly do. I can do that sort of thing myself, but if I really tried. But I'd never be as good as it as those people are. Those guys are insane. And it's really fun to watch them play. I have played EVE Online. I actually had an EVE Online video up that I had to tear down because I kept getting trolls and hate comments on it. Ah.
Take your time. Look around.
Okay, how much is that? That's not too expensive. And what's this? Yeah, let's...
We need more gold.
What? Ah, shoot. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and give that to him.
What lies before me?
And that to him. There we go.
I'm ready to track.
Yeah, that is actually a very good point, Snowy. Admittedly, if I played StarCraft 2 for a living, there's a pretty good chance I could actually get good at it. In fact, well, I shouldn't say anything about that. Let's just say there's something I am hoping to get good at in the future and make a living off of it. We'll see. Has to do with video gaming. That's your hint.
Our paths converge.
Oh, goodness.
The scent.
Whoops.
We're under attack.
I feel your mind. Das Dingo.
I wander alone.
Well, to be honest, Scottish, that is kind of the goal.
I'm acting on instinct.
We'll see how far I get. The ad revenue from YouTube isn't exactly large. Because I only... in the scheme of things, I only have so many viewers. And the revenue from Twitch, if you get a partnership, is variable in the thousands of viewers. And obviously I'm absolutely nowhere near that.
I've got the scent.
But I see no reason not to try.
I'm acting on instinct.
And I'm just waiting for several of my friends who are watching to be like, you should just give up, you suck. There's no reason to try.
Hi!
I love the goblins.
Wrecking crew here. What's happening? Hi! Primed and ready.
Flush them out.
Oh, shoot, they're gone. Okay, stop.
What lies before me?
I am actually aware of people who stream for a living. And, of course, YouTube for a living. The real catch is those people have upwards of 10 times the viewership I do. So I have no idea if I'll ever make it there, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm that expensive of a person to keep, you know... I don't have that big of bills, is kind of what I'm going for here. So it's not like I'd need millions of dollars in order to do that.
Our paths converge.
But like I said, I'm still gonna try, because why not?
Force them out. I feel your mind. Done. What lies before me? This must be one of the support beams. It's all yours, goblins. Flush them out.
For all my homies!
I'm sorry, you're right, Snowy, and don't mistake me for being ungrateful or upset or like, ah, you guys suck, why aren't you like 10 times more? No, that's not what I'm saying. You guys are awesome, and I do enjoy doing this, and I am glad about the fact that I've got the viewers that I do, who watch the videos that I do. Really definite props to the people. I am not trying to sell you guys short.
I'm acting on this.
You bit Trixie.
Yeah, it's gonna stun. I'm gonna need that later.
I've got the scent. I wander alone. I've got the scent. What lies before me?
Oh, that is the old saying, isn't it? Do what you love, rather than force yourself to love what you do. Also, hey, Righteous. What's up? Also, hi, Coca-Cola Sparks. That's terrifying. I didn't know Coca-Cola sparked now. Does it, like, explode if it shakes too much? Because that would be horrifying.
Yes, primed and ready. Off we go.
For all my homies!
I'm ready to track.
What the? Oh, damn it, Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
What lies before me? Flush them out.
Oh, God.
I feel your mind.
Yeah, that whole stream titling thing is kind of weird on Twitch. I haven't figured out a good method of doing it. What you have to do is you have to actually change it before you start streaming. Because you like... Actually, I'm not sure. Can I change it while streaming? Let me check that. Hang on a second. Can I... Hang on. I have to log in, apparently, because it's stupid. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, one moment. Let's just close this. Stop being stupid. Connect with Facebook. No. Okay, pause. Admin. Edit. You know what? We'll just do that. There. Update. Okay, did that change the channel title? See, part of the problem is when it sends out the email like, you know, Arshan Guy is now streaming this thing. It'll say whatever title you had it set to before you started streaming. Let's back up. There we go. Which is just strange. I'm still not sure the logic of that. I don't really get the point.
Sounds good.
but whatever.
Force them out.
Spike. Okay. Scottish. Yes, I think I would, in all honesty, if someone offered for me to join. Nobody has, as you might imagine. Not that that's very surprising. But if somebody wanted me to join a YouTube network, at the very least I'd think about it. I would be inclined towards yes. Oh, stretch. Ah, there we go. And what is this? The game station. Never actually heard of that. What is the game station? Come on, sell me, man. This is your job.
I wander alone.
I've never even heard of this thing. As you guys probably have figured out by now, I don't really internet like at all. All of my spare time goes towards family, health, you know, real life concerns, and then video games, music, and my other little hobbies. So, I don't internet, so I have no idea what the heck the game station is. Help me out. I know who Total Biscuit is. I am aware of that person.
That'll be a blast.
Pax is also an idiot. It's unrelated.
My quarry nears. I wander alone.
Do I have 2,000 gold? Yes, I do. Awesome. Let us go.
We're under attack!
Whoop.
Sweet. I got the righteous groove.
Oh, that husky. I actually am aware of that person tangentially. I don't actually know him personally, obviously, or she. Not even sure if it's a she.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Ah, excuse me.
You be Trixie.
There we go.
I feel you, man.
What lies before me?
It's a guy, okay. You need to have 30,000 views a month. I'm pretty sure I'm nowhere near that.
I'm ready to track.
Then again, maybe I am. Hang on.
Unleash my
Let's actually
strength.
look this up. Let's look up January's views. And let's close this so people don't see me looking up my stuff. Behold the black pit. Let's replace this. Not all of you were on last night, so I'm going to show you something that several people liked that I liked showing off. Behold. My FF6 wallpaper. Where is it? Sorry about the delay. Getting into AdSense is the most irritating thing, I swear. Okay, here we go. Reports. I made it, Coco. You're blind, Pax. He's in the upper right. Right by Siegfried and a ghost. Well, shoot. It's maybe it'll let me do this. Here we go. Okay. We're gonna do the month of January. We're gonna see how many views I did, because most of January I was pretty good about doing the daily thing, which is what I intend to do once I'm healthy again, doing the daily videos. Okay, so for the month of January I had 66,490 views. Holy hell, that's a lot more than I thought I did. Wow. The most watched video was my Half-Life 2 one. That's not really surprising, actually. Ah. Oh, goodness. Ooh. My next most watched video was my Half-Life video. I like some of this. It shows me an average view duration, and a lot of them are kind of funny. Like, for example, my Bioshock one, my average view duration is actually 24 minutes. Considering how long that video is, that's amusing to me. Oh, goodness. Speaking of wallpapers, while I'm looking up a couple other things here, I also have a Chrono Trigger one that I spent considerable time making. This one actually took longer. Anyone who's familiar with Chrono Trigger can probably guess why. That's not what the Ocean Palace actually looks like. I custom spliced chunks of the Ocean Palace together to make that into that. I wonder, where is my FF6 video? As an idle curiosity, I'm curious how many people have watched the FF6 one in total, because it's FF6. It's the greatest game ever made, for God's sakes, in my opinion. Quite a few people watch my D&D blogs too. Oh, by the way, I don't think I've said this officially. Yes, I do intend to continue those. I haven't yet, for reasons that'll become apparent. Not just the fact that I haven't been blogging in general. 7,700 views on my FF6 video. That is quite impressive. Wow. Yeah, I know, Grove. You're right. They look at a video that's, 2 hours long, and they're like, "What? I'm not watching this. This guy's a moron. How dare you?" And that's probably the source of all those comments I get with people who are like, "Ah, what the heck? Why don't you do 10-minute videos like everyone else does? What's wrong with you?" You haven't even reached the FF series yet. Wow. You're pretty far behind then, my friend. Alright, let's go ahead and close this. Bring Frozen Throne back up. Oh, stretch. Okay. Now let's go turn in the quest. Let's get some elite loots, which is right here.
Our paths converge.
God, this is such a weird way to control the game. Oh, I understand, right? Just strangely enough, as much as I hate to admit it, I don't really have a lot of free time right now either, because so much of my time is spent being sick, being bedridden, or being in pain, or being unable to concentrate, or being just unable to do anything. You know what I mean?
That's occupational commitment.
So.
Anyway, you done good.
And I'm glad you like my FF reviews,
Take these
Coco.
items.
Coca-Cola
It's the
Sparks,
least I can do
or
to
whatever you want to
repay
call
you.
yourself. I do intend to do more series reviews too. I'm going to do Kingdom Hearts next, whenever I'm actually good enough to do so. And yeah, I don't really plan on doing 10-15 minute videos. In all honesty, I think I've said this before. When I sit down to talk about a game, I never have a set time in mind, whether it's up or down. You know what I mean? It's like I never think, okay, I'm going to do a 3-hour video. No, I just sit down and talk, and when I'm done talking, I'm done. I'm sure there's some people who would complain about that, and that's kind of tough, because that's me. One of the biggest points about my show, my stream, my videos, all of it, is that I'm being honest, that you're seeing me, not some guy who's pretending. And I intend to keep doing that. And yeah, I know the Mass Effect 3 video got a bajillion views. As just about everyone is aware, that's basically the only reason I have an audience right now is because of Mass Effect 3, ironically. I also mentioned it's ironic, not just because of the debacle of the Mass Effect 3 thing in general, but because of the fact that, I never intended it, you know what I mean? I was never like, I will, have tons of viewerships because I will take advantage of the Mass Effect 3 situation, No, that wasn't even close to what I was thinking. It was just, I felt like talking about the situation and getting the idea out there, because I never had. And yeah, it just kind of came from there.
I've got the scent.
Screw you, Pax. You know as well as anybody,
Our paths converge.
because I wouldn't shut up about it.
I've got the scent. On the prowl.
Alright, gold. I like gold.
I've got the scent. Our paths converge. I wander alone.
You know what, clearly what I should do is I should like post a video called Why EA Sucks.
I've got the scent.
And that will be so popular of a video. It'll be amazing, and I will get 1 billion views, and then I'll win the world. It'll be fantastic. What do you think, guys? Is this the best plan ever? I don't know how to be very sarcastic right now. Forgive me. Be like, you know, EA is garbage, guys. I'm just saying. I know this is news to the entire gaming community.
Converge.
But EA is garbage. I just want to let you guys know. And by the way, buy this game, you know, because I'll be like shilling some game or another. I don't know. I can't think of one right now off the top of my head. 30-hour videos. Well, I guess theoretically they do. I don't know, actually. Just keep streaming and streaming and streaming and being like, alright, let's do the upload. Upload it for the next week.
Our paths.
And actually the whole 30 hours is just me cussing them out. Like the first 10 minutes is a very succinct, here is exactly why EA is stupid, and let me explain it very calmly and very articulately, blah 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 blah. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm just gonna keep calling EA horrible. EA is horrible, EA is horrible, EA is horrible. Oh, that sucks.
I'm acting on instinct.
New Guinness. There you go. That's my actual claim to fame. I'm going to get the Guinness Book of World Records for ranting about EA. Oh, and by the way, Snowy, no I don't. All joking aside, I've had a grudge against EA since the mid-90s. Because they've been doing... The practices they're doing now, they've been doing since the mid-90s. I've talked about this before. Everything they're doing now is actually not new. They have been the same company with the same policies of destruction of good game IPs for forever. So, whoops. There we go. Get down here.
I never intended to chase you out. I intend to bury you.
Let's stun her.
I wander alone. Our paths converge.
EA would be extremely easy to fix. I can tell you it in one sentence, and I mean this sincerely.
Our paths converge.
EA needs to have a hands-off policy to their games. That's it, in a nutshell. Boom. Right there. They buy a game company like, oh, I don't know, BioWare, and they go to BioWare and say, look, you are now our, what's the word I'm looking for? There's actually a term for it, and I can't think of it. But whatever. You are going to be a money source for us now. You're going to be a cash cow for us now. But we're not going to force you to do anything. We're not going to set your budgets past what we think is reasonable. We're not going to give you deadlines. Go make games, and we'll make money off of it. And then that's it. Boom. Done. I think Subsidiary is correct. Thank you. But yeah, you get the point. That is how EA would succeed. In a nutshell, they have the money to do that. And they have the reach to do that. But what they do is the exact opposite. They buy games and then they step in and say, okay, we need you to do these 17 things. Because we have no brains.
Ah, the caravans are safe at last.
Ah.
You've done well, warrior. The Horde owes you a great debt. Go to the armory down the way and tell them I sent you. They'll give you a choice of exotic items.
Armory, which is down here.
Our paths converge.
That's right, they were making a new generals, and then it's... Yeah, let's just not talk about that. Ooh, what should I get, guys? Evasion. Reduced ranged attack by quite a bit. Lots of armor. Increased attack rate. Ooh, these are all tempting. That may or may not be true, Righteous. I don't know. I am not there. I cannot say for sure because I don't actually have personal experience in the matter for obvious reasons.
I've got the scent.
All I can say is the results, which are abysmal. Strength, huh? I do remember Bullfrog. Total Annihilation was awesome. Total Annihilation is one of my favorite RTSs. It's like number 5-ish, I'd say, something like that. Pandemic was great. Heck, who remembers Microprose? There's one for the old from the old times. Dungeon Keeper, that was an awesome game. Games, I really should say. I'm kind of torn here. Script, more offense.
What lies
Could always use more
before me?
offense. That means I need to give the Gloves of Haste to him. Where is he?
I got the righteous groove.
Yeah.
Unleash my strength.
I liked Worms. I mean it. I did. Worms Armageddon was awesome. XCOM was awesome. Masters of Magic was awesome. Although, okay, I'll be fair. Masters of Magic is probably one of those ones that's more nostalgia than actual gameplay durability. So I'll admit that. Sorry, I'm texting here. I swear, no matter what I do, someone's trying to chat with me. That's not a complaint.
My quarry.
Oh, okay, what's my quest right now? Talk to Thrall, you got it. Hey, Thrall.
What lies before me?
You are so much more awesome than Garrosh. The problem with the hands-off thing is...
Thromkar, Rexar.
The actual...
The others
Okay,
tell me you've
speaking
been
as someone who
grateful.
went to business school,
I appreciate
the
all
actual
you've done.
best way to approach that kind of a situation is a combination of hands-on, hands-off. You have to show your employees that you have a degree of trust in them and give them leeway, but if you give them total leeway, you are... you run the risk... you run many risks. I'm not going to go into details. So, in other words, as with everything in the entire universe, the best way to deal with it is to have a combination of a dynamic approach. You know, you don't just and that I think is EA's real problem. They aren't dynamic in the way they approach anything.
I'm acting.
They just say we're going to go to this extreme or possibly to that extreme. Extremes don't work, guys. I'm sorry, they just don't. Now, where am I going? Let's just head up here randomly. Where am I going? Ha! Gotcha.
My quarry nears.
Oh, goodness. Theme Hospital. I just noticed that up there. Theme Hospital was awesome. That's another one of those games that's probably more nostalgia than you know, if I played it now I'd enjoy it. But still, I had some fun times in that. Ah.
Under a low. On the prowl. Squash them out. I'm acting on instinct.
Are they making another Super Meat Boy? Or I guess I should say, are they planning to? Because I have no information on that. Like, at all.
I'm acting on instinct. On the prowl.
Or harpies. All they wanted to do was
I'm
be
acting
filthy
on
and kill
instinct.
people.
I've got the
Here, I got a bunch more for you. I'm honestly a little disappointed about the J.J. Abrams over Episode 7 thing, if I'm honest with myself. But, to be a little bit blunt, my faith in Episode 7 has been significantly hampered by the destruction of LucasArts. You can call me whatever you want negatively for that. I don't care. I think that was a bad move from every perspective. And I have no idea how the heck they could possibly recover from that, you know what I mean? Oh, excuse me.
Drumka, warrior. We haven't seen any signs of human activity, but the local quillboars have been getting bolder. There is an observatory nearby that helps
Minecraft?
us spot
Oh,
the
10 to 20 minute Minecraft videos.
You might want to check it out. But be warned, the quillboars roam the entire area.
That's right, I need to get some of that notch money.
If only there was a way to root them out, we could end their threat once and for all.
Be like, yep.
I feel you, man.
I'm not saying 100% the LucasArts idea was a bad idea, because I don't know everything. But from everything I know, there was no benefit to the move, to the decision. So, we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and stop playing here, because I'm starting to get shaky. I have blood sugar issues. I don't know if I've ever told you guys that. I actually have blood sugar issues. From whether or not I eat properly or not. So, I need to go get some food, guys, before I get even worse. So I'm going to go ahead and stop streaming for now. I can't believe I streamed this long. This is a 3-hour stream. Oh my gosh. I had a lot of fun. This is actually really cool. I'm glad a lot of you guys hopped on. I really was just intending to do my stupid little chat. And it kind of blossomed from there. So I guess that's probably going to be a little indicative until I start actually doing scheduled stuff. So, I'm going to go ahead and upload this to YouTube, and I will catch you guys later.